go.
And we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it does say so. We're back. Were we? No, we were here last week.
We were. We missed After Dark.
Oh, that was. I knew we'd skipped one recently. I just couldn't remember which one it was. Yeah, no, we're back after having no week's delay whatsoever.
That's right. And episode 76, last episode, is still MIA. It's not even on the re-up.
Isn't it?
It's just lost to the wind.
Oh.
Dang.
Is it on my channel? I don't think I've deleted it.
Oh, well, good. At least it's available.
But it's on. It's just
super organized.
It's on the StreamYard's back end thing, right? We can just download it from there.
Yeah, you can just download it from StreamYard.
This is the whole producer thing. I forget. A lot of hats to wear here. Okay. But today's first topic is the first good movie I've seen in a little while. A really good movie, anyway. Is Weapons. Who on the panel has seen Weapons? Niet, Vex.
Pretty much all of us except Platoon, right?
Well,
and he's seen half.
I've seen half because I only realized we were talking about it an hour ago, and it's a 2-hour movie. So you know, I've got the premise.
Yeah,
that's enough.
I had that instinct that I was going to be in that position, being the only one on the panel who hadn't seen it. So I went to a showing like super late last night. Got to get it in.
Are we going into spoiler discussion? Spoiler warnings?
Yeah, we will dive into spoilers because we don't care.
Okay.
We don't care.
Platoon.
Sorry, bro.
Okay, I'm usually the one giving the spoilers. I guess I'll receive them today.
It's his turn.
Does anyone want to start?
Well, I've heard everyone's take on it because I was on Niet's stream last night. So, Brooks, what did you think of the movie?
I am a real sucker for the type of format that this movie pulled off, and I don't want to go so far without rewatching it saying as I loved it, but it's the type of movie that even with its flaws, I really, really adored it, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. A really refreshing premise. The tonal shifts in the movie would normally really bother me, but I was kind of okay with them outside of one scene that I'm sure we're going to get into. But overall,
is it the very last scene? There's spoiler warnings there, man.
Of course it's the last scene. Of course it is. That's a whole podcast in itself.
Spoiler.
But even with that, like, for example, 28 years later had a scene that was so jarring that I can't remember the rest of the movie. I can only remember that scene. This had something similar in the fact that the ending was very not what I was expecting, but they achieved so many things before that I still really adored this movie. The Naruto run, the aesthetic, the villain was fantastic, and like I said, the format was great. Plenty of things to say about it.
I hear a lot of people just are not happy with that ending. I actually didn't mind it at all. I was totally on board with it.
I was talking offline with Cynic about it, how it's going to be two thoughts where there's three thoughts. There's either tonally it damaged it for you. You were super satisfied with the payoff and this person getting their comeuppance, or you're like me saying, motherfucker, I want more. Like, give me a prequel. It was like the one POV we didn't get. And the fact, I think this particular person being killed off is going to age like Jigsaw. We're like, nah, this was a mistake. We could have gotten more out of this character. Extremely fascinating, because for any issues that you have within the movie, I think everyone can agree that character was very interesting, and I wanted to know more lore and just a little bit more breakdown. It's the one POV I think the movie really needed.
That was my...
Oh, go ahead. No.
I was going to say, I said this yesterday, but that was my probably biggest criticism, is that the story has an unconventional narrative in terms of how everything plays out. It's not a linear arc. We get multiple narrative threads that give us the POV of different characters, especially the main characters. And I thought that a crucial missing link was the main antagonist. I would have loved to have known what was going on inside her head, what was driving her, where she came from. You sort of get an inkling of why she's doing what she's doing to survive. But I felt like if we had that last chapter, it would have tied everything together superbly. But I didn't mind the ending, because I felt like the film had earned it, right? Like everything was set up in an appropriate way that when we got to that bizarre ending, that I don't know, I got like a cathartic release. I was having such a good time with the movie.
I completely agree with that. Where it's the type of scene that would normally ruin a movie for me, but it's like this works. Like, you know what, get her, fuck it. Like, it just I could totally see it ruining it for some people, but they pulled off something that's very difficult. And I just respect so many things they achieved in this movie.
But what about the scene where he's tossing the crackheads over and over again?
That is where I was just like, I was in a why?
Even Josh Brolin's going, what the fuck?
What
and
the
the guy
fuck's
keeps
going on?
jumping at
Because
him,
he was
and
a
it just-
weapon. That's
Oh,
why it's in the
man.
He was
title.
a terrible
There-
one. He just kept going, blah.
You know where they screwed up there? They needed to switch it. The girl should have been fighting the crackhead, and the fucking cop should be fighting
Yeah.
Roland, so they're even. Because all I kept thinking is, oh no, her neck should be snapped. Like, you can't do this. All you needed to do was switch opponents. You know this. The crackhead is a good match. Oh, jeez. Platoon has no idea what we're talking about.
I think part of what makes that scene hilarious isn't just the number of times the crackhead gets up. It's Josh Brolin's expression. His
Yes.
deadpan. He's so serious. He's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like he knocks him out and he just goes blah and wakes back
Yeah.
up again and he knocks him out and he just won't stay down.
My audience was laughing, and I'm just like, I shouldn't be laughing at a horror movie, but this is kind of funny. This is kind
I
of
think
ridiculous.
it would have ruined it if the rest of the film wasn't great.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's not a good bit. It's like a blemish on a good face. It works because the rest of it's pretty.
If that wasn't a shit movie, it would be a horrible scene. But now it's
Yeah.
something that we kind of accept because of everything else being so quality.
Has everyone else seen Barbarian, his previous film?
I want to watch that after
No.
seeing you mentioning it. I'm on like a
Okay.
fucking horror binge right now after this.
I
Is it good?
gotcha. It's I actually liked it better than this, but like that movie has the same problem that this one does, in which like Kreger doesn't really know how to end the film in a way that kind of meets the expectation set out by the first two acts that he's laid out, sort of deal. So like, as much as I still enjoy Barbarian, I think it holds up on rewatch, knowing that ending, it's just kind of like it's just like all this edging and then nothing comes out almost, you
You
know.
talking about barbarians or weapons?
About Barbarian,
talking
and
about
Weapons does
that.
the same thing. It kind of drops the ball at the ending. Like, I was
Really?
fine with it because I could see the allegorical meaning behind it.
Do you think it's that he doesn't know how to end it and doesn't know how to meet expectations, or that is the point? He's trying to subvert expectations, like what
It
you
just
sort
feels
of
like
I
it's
thought
expect
that
from
was
the
such a satisfying ending.
I
It
think could have
was,
been a
but-
bit more. It could have added a little bit extra with all the other parents. meet
Where
the
did she
kid.
get the
bit of
fucking?
Brooks.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, that's classic witches. Because I knew the second she cut the hair, I went, "Oh, this is all witch folk tale.
Yes,
they
yes,
always
yes.
carry the tree with them."
That's what I was loving. I was like, you know what? I'm so down because I don't know if this is aliens. I think the thing that intrigued me the most is that I don't know what type of supernatural event I'm in store for. And when they revealed it was a
Mm.
witch, I was just like,
How,
I like
how
this.
long-
And I love the character.
How long did it take you? Because I knew the second she took the hair,
Yeah.
I could. Because
The moment they
Witch
took the hair,
3,
it was some type of no. Actually, in the board room when they showed the classroom, they showed Parasite. I knew from
Parasite.
then it was going to be something of some type of mind control, but just
You hold
basically
on.
establishing the mechanics.
You guys didn't get it when it very obviously the word witch
written,
instead
yeah.
of
No,
bitch
no,
was
no,
what
that-
painted on the car.
I suspected.
Yeah,
but
that
I got
is- I feel like-
confirmation with the hair.
Confirmation
feel
for
like-
me was the Parasite on the board, and the hair was just like, okay, yeah, this is definitely the route we're going. So you put
Yeah.
those two together. Yeah, I was gonna say in terms of the ending, like I said, it's one of the few movies where I came out of it like wanting a prequel, just because that character is so compelling, and I want more. Not like I like the idea of there's a lot for us to interpret here, but I still feel like there's a little bit of the lore and the mechanics they could have fleshed out, and I just got Jigsaw vibes of like, why'd you kill her now? I want to see more.
This
You know?
isn't
Like,
really
how
a horror
long-
movie. Sorry, I just on that comment though, like that. This isn't really a horror movie. I wouldn't. This feels mismarketed. But sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead,
it
Reaper.
definitely does.
No,
It's a thriller.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it more. I like my thrillers more. Like some of the jump scares were just felt at the beginning, like the girl on the roof felt forced. They were quite shit jump scares.
That
But
first
the
one was
last
crap.
scene where she's being chased goes on for how she goes through like 20 people's houses. And still
It's so
gets chased.
comical. Man. It's
Oh,
so
and the
comical.
kids jumping through the windows. It was just so over the top.
Oh, geez, the directing in this movie. Like, I'm pretty familiar with writing and like the mechanics behind it, but I don't know shit about directing. I just know it looked good. someone explained to me why that car chase looked so phenomenal. Like it just felt like you were driving the vehicle. The wide turns, something about the way they shot it was fantastic.
The camera work was great.
Yeah, the
Yeah, camera
cinematography
really good.
was outstanding. They probably attached a camera onto a car. Like they've got these amazing rigs that they put onto vehicles for the chase scenes now, and I think Kreger definitely took advantage of that. But it looked outstanding when Paul, the police officer, is chasing the crack addict. Like it looked phenomenal.
James.
Yeah, Niet's right. You can actually, there's a behind the scenes video. It's like 15 minutes long, but you can see all the different camera rigs he used for like the various shots, even the indoor ones, like in the liquor store and stuff like that. It's he went all out on that. All out.
I wanted to add to what Reaper said too. Oh,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, your point at the end, I really agreed with that as well. I wanted a little bit more explanation for the kids. It was like Brolin grabbed this kid, hugged him, and dipped. And I just like,
well, there's a tiny amount. It's basically implied that they'll eventually get their strength back because parasites leave their host weakened. Because the kid goes, some of them are starting to talk, which assumes that most of them will be okay.
Okay.
It's also implied because at the very end, is it the kid's Alex?
Yeah, kid's Alex.
It's implied that his real auntie, the witch, was pretending because he goes to live with his real auntie, and she's a nice person.
Yeah, this is what I was. That's part of the reason I was asking. I feel like there's probably
so the witch stepped in and pretended to be the auntie. So it's basically like she's tricked the mum because the mum says, "I don't even know her that much." Well, the dad says, "Even your mother doesn't know her that much."
She didn't show up to our wedding. All these little details.
There was there were inconsistencies actually with even their story because they said, "Oh, she didn't show up for our wedding, but I haven't seen her in 15 years. Oh, but you had met him like they say to Alex. Oh, but you had met her as a baby." So yeah, I could see the implication as maybe she's kind of put a spell on them, sort of deal.
But he does have a real auntie. I thought she stepped in, but she did see him because, "Oh, Alex, I saw you when you were a baby." She says that, which implies that she was there.
Yeah.
But Alex has a real auntie he goes to live with.
Just in terms of the
right on.
Right, good point.
Well said, Vex.
Well put.
Yes.
It's so crazy.
I think that that witch not actually being a relative makes the story all the more creepier. That it's just some random that assumed an identity and manipulated not only the family but the whole community. Like, I don't know, there's just something really, really creepy and unnerving about that.
Yeah, it's part of the reason I want more of her.
She says like, "Oh, the family are sick with consumption," which implies that she's been doing this since the Wild West days. Because Benedict Wong's going, I'm sorry, I don't know what that term is.
Yeah, that phrase was
a very
kind of
old
odd.
term, right?
Yeah, so it's implied that she's just been moving around, just from Europe all the way to the Americas, just eating kids.
That's a really good detail because the thing about this lady is you have to piece most of it together just through little scenes like that. They're not explicit with any of it. And one of the things I liked about the movie, but at the same time, I liked that assuming that she wasn't going to get fucking disemboweled at the end, and I was going to be able to get more of this lady, you know, because that all worked, but I think I can have a little bit more of her.
Reaper, could you say that part again about she's been doing this from the West since the Wild West?
When she meets Benedict Wong, she says the family's sick with consumption, and consumption's a term they used back in the old days.
Yes,
because Benedict Wong goes, "I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with that term."
Yeah,
and she goes, "Oh, whatever." She says stroke next time when she meets the cops, when Alex has to do the interviews. She changes it up. Oh, tuberculosis.
That's a really good detail.
That actually explains even her stylistic choices too, because even the makeup color choice is not color choices that you see typically anymore. Even the hairstyle, like I think that's like a 60s hairstyle or was popular in the 60s. So
I mean, there's a lot of things that you can just that are open to interpretation about this lady, and a lot of things that could have been cool to flesh out. So I'm just left in a position of like,
my one question is, why was she in the woods waving to the crackhead?
Oh, we sort of addressed this yesterday. It's in the same way that the main character, I forget Julia Garner's character's name, Justine. When she's at home, we have that jump scare where the witch is above her, like on the ceiling, despite her not having met the witch yet. And the consensus that we came to was that it was implied that the reason Justine and the crack addict both have visions of the witch at some point, it's because of their proximity to the house, because they both peek through the window at some stage, and then the visions start coming to them.
That's the only justification for that first jump scare, because it's the one that a lot of people call cheesy, but at least it's set up to some degree. There's a reason for it.
But what about Josh Brolin? He has a dream, and then he goes to the house, and he sees the numbers in the air. And is it a gun?
It's a gun, yeah. Assault
rifle. It was a rifle with the numbers on it.
And I was thinking, what was that?
It's meant to. It's the title, man. He sees a weapon in a movie
title.
called Weapons.
But that was what was the point?
Yeah, that was the one part I wasn't really sure either. Like, huh?
And we get that fantastic, what the fuck?
That was fucking hilarious. Even like that, where like that was just like, normally it would throw me out of a horror movie, but it just worked. It
did.
Worked.
Well, because we were all saying it.
Pardon?
Go ahead, Reaper.
We were all saying, what the fuck? Then Josh Brolin goes, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's so perfectly timed.
There were a couple of those moments. Another one that stuck out to me was when she was being chased in the liquor store, and he yells, "Get out of my store!" And she's like, "Fucking help me!
Help me!" Yeah. And
That's funny.
I heard a lot of people saying how like they couldn't enjoy it because the characters weren't likable, and like I really appreciated
they were believable.
You took it out of my mouth, because I came straight home like, someone talk to me about this movie, please. So I watched your stream, and I was begging for someone to say that, and finally you did it. Because for me, believability is the key. If they're likable, that's great, but I need to be able to at least follow these characters and stay immersed. And I just liked all the little pieces of Justine that they established to show how neurotic she was. The Principal Wong mentioning her, the things she does above the board with the students, her mentioning that she would text bomb Paul and be super neurotic about it, and even her coming out with the pepper spray instead of just hiding in her house. Just little moments of establishing her character was interesting. Yeah. So we got a little bit with everybody. Really
no, people weren't likable, but they were believable. Like Archer's son Matthew, just because he's missing doesn't mean he's a virtuous kid. He was a bully.
He's a dick.
And that's just reality.
Yeah.
And yeah, just because a character is unlikable doesn't make them any less endearing. I mean, part of the reason like shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia work is because all the characters are despicable. They're all awful human beings, but there's just something endearing and magnetic about those characters that we find fascinating. So you don't need to like a character to be fascinated by them or to be entertained by what they're going through.
Well, Justine, her being a flawed character actually plays into Josh Brolin, because he's saying she's the only one who got kicked out of her previous school. So that's why he becomes a bit obsessed with her. It's why he confronts her. And that's why he manages to save her from Benedict Wong.
Yeah. Oh, that scene. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was good.
That was nuts.
I was kind of on the fence of like, I wasn't really a fan of the characters, not because they were unlikable, but they felt very one-dimensional. But it also kind of seems like it depends on which angle you want to approach this film from. So like, as a character-driven story, and I said this on Niats yesterday as well, I don't think it's a very good movie. But if you just kind of look at it as an allegory for a bunch of different things, mainly like how loss and grief kind of affect us all on a more personal, like intimate level, then it works really well. Because Krieger has said in quite a few interviews that the script was inspired by the death of Trevor Moore, who was like a really close friend and a collaborator on Whitest Kids You Know back when that show was still going on. So when you kind of like put that together with this, and then you consider kind of all the mystery around Trevor Moore's death, I find like a lot of the creative choices and even symbolic choices actually work really well with this. But I don't like that the characters are so one-dimensional. So I don't know where to really stand on this film, because I like it from one angle, but I dislike it from the other.
Well, now that you know the mystery, how will it affect the rewatching?
That's what I'm curious to see.
No rewatch value on this, in my opinion.
Do you think it's all just in the mystery?
I really have to. I think you have to rewatch it to confirm that, because I feel like you watch a movie, you know how you feel about it. You rewatch it, and you know what it is. So it's just very, very important to get that rewatch in before we conclude that. I think there could be little. That's part of the reason I was asking Reaper about the old lady. If there's little pieces of exposition that I missed that might have fleshed out the things that I feel like I was missing. Because I still feel like one of the first things I thought when I came out of this movie was that I want to watch it again. I don't think it's one of those ones like Saw, where it's all about the twist at the end.
I think rewatching it will reveal a lot more about the characters because, to your point, I guess, Vex, about the characters being unlikable, there's a bit more complexity to them than that, especially with Justine, because she's a very toxic person, right? Like she sort of kickstarts Paul's drinking, and he's been sober for quite some time. She's very impulsive, but at the same time, we get inklings that she's a phenomenal teacher and that she loves the children, and that in fact she goes above and beyond for them. Like the principal brings up the fact that she cares too much about the kids because one of the kids, his parents forgot to pick them up, and she was happy
the boundaries.
to drop them home.
Yeah.
And like she starts taking the role of a parent figure. So I don't know. I feel like, especially with her, there's a lot more complexity.
I mean, like they do more with Justine because she also takes up the majority of the film compared to the other characters, because we see most of this from her perspective versus everyone else's. But even then, all it really revealed is that she was kind of more toxic to every environment she was introduced to than like helpful. Like, even though it was clear that she like really cared about these kids and everything, she went back to work more or less just to kind of, she couldn't go to work anymore. So then she just badgers her employer to go see this Alex kid. And then she crosses a clear boundary with going to his house and basically stalking him as well. She gets her ex-boyfriend, who's married, drunk, and then takes advantage of him in the same night when she knows that he's trying to, stay sober. And he's also trying for a baby with his wife. So, and then by the end of it, it's like you think that there's going to be some lesson that she'll take out of it a little bit, but instead she's just kind of saved from everything by the end of it. And she ends up just kind of being the default nurturing character for Alex by the time all the events happen.
But do you think that portrayal was kind of like a red herring? Because I remember being very interested in the fact that I wasn't sure if she was innocent during her scenes. Like, I have no idea what she was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
She seems genuine, but I think the performance and a lot of the aspects of her character just tied into that. It just made it a little bit more, intriguing, because I have no idea what she was actually thinking. Her being flawed really made the character way more interesting for me.
Yeah, like I have no issue with her being flawed. It's more that I kind of wish that there were an outcome to it by the end. Like, at least with Archer. With Archer, we see that there is something he kind of comes out of it from, because you kind of see like how much like his professional life dominates it. And as the event happens, you can see that, this is now in disarray. So he walks away from it caring more for his son than it seems he did before. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Alex, I guess he kind of learns a lesson too, but it's more just like his innocence has been completely stolen in one of the worst ways possible. So that's really because I have no problem with flawed heroes. It definitely makes them more compelling. Just give them something to take from it by the end.
Well, you mentioned I definitely was missing something with her towards the end in terms of a payoff. I agree with that. But are there any other major payoffs you think the film screwed up on or didn't mention? Because I thought there was definitely going to be something with the amount of times that Paul got stabbed. Like, I thought he transferred.
You're right.
To Justine. When they did that one shot of him plowing her, I thought he was going to give her AIDS or something. Like, what are we doing here? I just thought it was strange to show him get pricked like 2 or 3 different scenes, but then not do anything with it.
I think there was a missed opportunity with the police captain as well, because like every single character that does get like a segment or whatever, they're all trying to regain some sort of control over their lives after this event sort of happens. And the police captain and the principal in particular are 2 characters that seem to ground everyone. Like, they understand and they empathize with the fact that a tragedy has happened, but also they realize life goes on and they need to keep some sort of stability for everyone, right? So I feel like not using Paul to explore the police angle or even the police captain a little bit, because there's that great scene the captain and Archer have where he asked multiple times to Archer, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And we see all of these different perspectives otherwise. And that feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity just to make things a little more compelling, because it really sells itself as a mystery, not just in the marketing, but also in just that long opening monologue that we see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe, because I found the police captain to be one of the least interesting characters in the story. And I guess the whole point of the movie was just how the police were so incompetent at dealing with this case, so much so that the town ended up burying this story. And that's how we get the monologue from the kid and not one of the main characters. So I don't know. I feel like by not dealing with the captain and him not being a prominent character, it fits into the theme that Kreger was trying to establish about the ineffectiveness of the local police force. And that's why Paul is such a critical character, because he's not even investigating the case. It's about like individuals doing what they can when given information that puts them in a position where they can't help but investigate.
Mm-hmm. Well, that I guess maybe he doesn't have to be a full character, the captain, just more like use him a little bit more in Paul's story, because like Paul even goes to him after the whole thing goes down with James, the crackhead, right, where he like knocked him over the head and everything, and he was worried about the dash cam catching it. It just like, it didn't have to be a lot more, like he didn't need to be his own character, just like drop it a little bit, because Paul was supposed to have some bigger influence on things, and it just kind of felt like, I guess, yeah, if his point is just to be a metaphor for how incompetent police are, it works, but otherwise it feels kind of like a waste of runtime, because it doesn't actually influence anything any of the other characters go through.
Well, it all ties down to what I was saying with the ending of like certain payoffs just seemed a little bit half-baked or just non-existent, and what did you think of the ending overall? I think that's probably going to be the most controversial part of the movie.
I think the witch saves it. If the witch wasn't such a piece of shit, I think the movie would be horrendous. Because, as you said, you've got 5 half-baked characters, but one really good villain.
Yes.
But I don't call them half-baked to the sense of like, I don't need them to be fully fleshed out, because I think altogether they represent something very strong in this movie.
They could have used a bit more character work. They could have, like, as Vex was saying, they could have overcome some flaw. They could have re-examined their life. Something could have came about it.
I think there was enough in there. It's just we didn't get the proper payoffs for them, for anyone other than Archer. Because even Paul's was like, oh, shit, And I agree with you, Vex, when it comes to Justine. There should have been something with her, considering how much time we spent with her. And it wouldn't have taken long.
And we saw her really go through it. We saw she was scared to just be in her own home. She had nobody else to lean on. Like, she was just drinking her days away. Like, it felt like I was expecting something to happen, and it just falls flat.
It's like there's a scene missing. I really agree. It's the only piece of the movie where I'm just like, just aging poorly in my head. Because when someone tells me that it ruined it for them, I don't really have much of an argument, because it depends on how you felt in that moment. And it earned your respect to that point.
At the beginning of in the town hall, they're all calling for her blood, and then none of the parents go after her.
Yeah,
like you should have had one scene where one of the parents throws a brick through the window.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see a little bit more of that dynamic.
And it's Paul's wife. Paul's wife who goes, "You fucked my husband," which has nothing to do with the murder.
How'd she even find her? And dumping her in alcohol, I thought that was going to be something significant, like she's going to light her on fire or something. It was a strange scene.
That was one of the things, like the few things I can actually chip in on this movie, because it's the bit I've actually seen. It's like, yeah, it did feel a little bit strange that like you go from that meeting at the school where everyone is so obviously head up and they do follow her outside the school, and like it could quite easily evolve into a lynch mob, only not really to do anything much with that later. I don't know how it will resolve, so I don't know if that problem is going to kill it for me. But it was just, it was the only thing that I really felt just was like, not convinced by the way this is playing out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad we got a villain who's actually horrible. Yeah. She's not misunderstood. We understand her. She's a piece of shit.
Yes, I love her. I fucking love her so much.
I think it's more like a drought. Like I wanted an evil person, and I finally got an evil person.
But that's why I've been complaining this whole time of like, God damn it, give me more. Like you took us so long to get such a compelling villain, and I wouldn't say I hate her death scene. I just hate how much I feel we're missing by having that death scene. So much more we could have done with this person.
I think her being such a piece of shit and being so evil and so cruel to the community and the children in particular is what makes the ending satisfying, because you're like waiting for her to get a comeuppance. And when the thing happens, you're just like, thank God.
Yeah. Like if I would rather she live because I want more, but maybe that's just me being greedy. Maybe this is the best.
You can have more witches. I mean, there shouldn't just have to be one witch. There could be others.
honestly just have like a little more like little subtle hints that she's around, because really until we're introduced to Gladys, all we see are the 2 dream sequences from Justine and Archer, right? So maybe just having like a little more of her influence throughout all of those other stories, because we don't really see her influence. We see it through James for that like 1 split second that was spoiled in all of the trailers, right? But other than that, you kind of, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's the magic of it though. You don't suspect it coming. Like Barbarian does the same thing. It just kind of turns into a different movie at the halfway point, and then the way things go down just leaves you with a giant, like, you know, Josh Brolin, what the fuck, by the end of it.
Let's see.
So is anybody looking forward to the sequel, Alex the Witch Hunter?
Oh my god!
I
was
think-
saying I'm more
Creator
interested.
is interested in doing a sequel, right? Because I think he said that he's doing a Resident Evil film next, though, which is going to have to
Yeah.
come first. Which
It's got
if that
he said
doesn't
he's
end
not
his career, then I guess he'll have time to do another Weapons film.
Well, he said it's not going to be any of the characters from the games. It's going to be an original story.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's going to feature
Oh
an
my
original character, and all I kept thinking was fucking Alice from Paul W.S. Anderson's Resident
Have they
Evil.
not learned after all these years? I just don't get it. It should be the easiest win ever, Resident Evil, in terms of the simplicity of the story. It's all right there, and the fan base is just dying, waiting for something of quality, and they keep fucking around.
Well,
I don't mind if. Go ahead,
ahead,
Vex.
No, go ahead.
I don't mind if they do an original story, but at the very least, they should use an established character like
Yes.
Claire Redfield, Jill
Mhm.
Valentine, or Leon
Leon's
S.
the
Kennedy.
best one.
Leon's the best one. We've gotten the most adventures with him. I know that we covered Resident Evil, the 2002 one, on Movie Nights with Niad a couple days ago, and something that was brought up was that Capcom were insistent, especially in the 90s, when they were trying to get this project off the ground, and there'd only been one game, that they didn't want there to be a shot-for-shot like adaptation of the games. They wanted an original story. They didn't specify whether they wanted original characters, but the whole notion was that they wanted the movie to succeed on its own merits, and that it would encourage people to play the games. So that's why they didn't want the game seen in the film. I think they definitely went wrong in that
I
regard.
can prove that it didn't work because I saw Resident Evil movies long before I played any of the games, and they put me off playing any of the games, and so I never did. I think I
Have you
played
played-
like 5 minutes of a Resident Evil game in my life. That's probably it. And I never really understood it, but that's because my first exposure was to the movies. So it's like, I understand they are now actually quite good, and I should really check them out. When I have
They're
time
amazing.
in like 4 decades time, I might get around to doing that.
I'm curious though if you know it all, Nia, or if anyone else does, and what made them change their minds for the second one, because Apocalypse includes a lot more of like the actual game characters and lore.
Well, even in the first one, you can see that they're like, oh, we should probably put subtle references to the game. So you've got the character Matt, who is like an agent working with his sister to sabotage the Umbrella Corporation. But he's just weird amalgam of like Leon Kennedy and Chris, right? Like, because he's got Chris's hair, but he's also like supposedly a police officer that is in his first week at Raccoon City Police Department. And it's like, is that Leon or is that Chris? And you've also got just like subtle allusions to aspects of the games, but it's not until, like you said, Resident Evil Apocalypse, where they're like, oh, Nemesis is here. It's like, okay, what about the rest of the game? We've had like 3 different attempts at the adaptation. We've got Paul W.S. Anderson's, I think 6 or 7 movies. We've got the awful Netflix TV series Resident Evil, and then we've got like Welcome to Raccoon City, which is also a weird amalgamation of Game 1 and Game 2. You've got the principal characters, you've got the Spencer Mansion, you've got Raccoon City, but it's just this weird hybrid.
The 3D ones that Capcom put out, like I think those are all on Tubi or something, like one of the free streaming apps, but those are actually worth watching. Those are like proper Resident Evil stories. And like as I mentioned yesterday, even if you were to copy the first movie 1 for 1, as long as you just have someone competent writing it and who can just take a simple story and take it to the next level, like we saw with 2012's Dread, simple story taken to the next level. That's all we really want. Like a 1-for-1 Resident Evil adaptation can totally work.
Dread, the 2012 Dread isn't like a truly faithful adaptation to the Dread comics, but it is a faithful adaptation of the character. And part of why it worked was that Alex Garland was driven to make a movie that showcased who the character of Dread is, and to an extent Anderson, who's his sidekick in a couple of the comics. And the only way a Resident Evil movie will work is if the focus is on character, but considering they're not bothering adapting any of the characters from the games, I think they're already off to a bad start.
Oh, I had a slide.
Oh. That's fine.
So weapons.
We're finished on that topic now. You can take it away. Fuck it.
Yeah,
We've discussed Resident
Fuck
Evil.
it. Zach Kreger did say this. Yeah. It has nothing to do with any of the Resident Evil movies. If I do my job, it will feel fresh, edgy, and weird.
It has nothing to do with any of the other Resident Evil movies. Like, they're all fucking shit, you know? So, like, is he just talking about continuity, or is he talking about, like, the stylistic approach? Did he elaborate on this quote at all?
Hopefully all of the above, right?
Yeah.
Not in continuity, because they don't...
Well, he also said that...
Where does those movies even end up happening? I think the last one I saw... Wasn't that did it end with the one where like they go back and it's just an excuse for a bunch of cameos from all the previous movies?
Well, I remember the apocalypse happens. Like it was all desert for some reason. Then now it's ground again.
Alice had swords and she had like a cape and they were in a desert. I remember the imagery. That's it.
The White House was under attack, and that was the cliffhanger ending. And then the next movie, it wasn't.
Well, yeah, in that movie,
everything. That's why it was a desert. Like,
no,
it wasn't. No, okay.
So
why was everything a desert then?
So in Resident Evil Extinction, the third one, they explained that the T virus didn't just infect living things, but it also destroyed the flora as well for some reason, and turned everything into a wasteland. That was their explanation in Extinction.
What?
And to Reaper's point. The fifth movie, they introduced Leon Kennedy, and it's played by that guy from Prison Break. And then you're like, oh, okay, all right, at least they're making an attempt 5 movies in to bring in some of the characters. And the end of the movie is him and Claire and Alice, Albert Wesker, a couple of them standing on the White House. And you're like, oh, shit, we've got some of the characters from the games. The next movie is going to be exciting because you've got them standing at the White House and like, millions of zombies, you know, about to break in. Villain. And then the next movie starts and they're all dead. Except for Alice.
What the fuck? Just sounds like a waste after waste after waste. That's the entire franchise.
But they're all quite funny. Like, I think we should at some point do a Resident Evil movies arc. Maybe we could do it like Halloween or something. Just go through them all because they're so shit. It's so charming.
Yeah, they are fascinatingly bad considering how, you know, clear the template was for them. But what do you think of Anthony Starr playing Wesker?
I'm on board with it.
You need to get back to fucking legit casting like that, where like people being born for certain roles, like what's his face, Adam Driver not playing Snape is just some bullshit. Like, what are you doing? He's ready to go. He doesn't even need makeup or anything. Just shove him in there. So things like that, it's refreshing to see. I hope they actually go through with it.
You know, on sidestep a little bit, but on the Snape thing, I did just see this morning that apparently they're hoping for that Harry Potter series to run for 10 years. So that probably explains why they didn't go with someone like Driver for Snape.
But then they went with an ancient Dumbledore who's already in his like late 70s.
That doesn't make sense. They got the Trinity Killer for Dumbledore.
Listen, I'm just saying, you know. Yeah.
I mean, I guess Dumbledore dying between the 3rd and 4th installment is kind of a canon event in Harry Potter, though. So, like, the actor will have to die. And if he actually does live long enough, they'll just kill him and recast him anyway. Because it's just what Dumbledore does.
Do you think they'll just get a pillow above John Lithgow's head and just smother him? You have to die just like the guy did in the original.
Sorry, John, it's in the contract.
John Lithgow, he could play anything, though. I'm happy to see him. I have a special soft spot for actors who could do comedy and like evil characters really well. Like I always think of him from Third Rock from the Sun, and I think of the villain he played in Cliffhanger, which is such an underrated villain, like in terms of presence. Bryan Cranston is another one.
Does he still have the power in his voice? Or is he like Patrick Stewart, where he's like, he sounds like he's dead?
No, he does have He does have a booming voice because he does shows at Broadway. I'm not sure when the last show was, but my understanding is that he's got an incredible voice and he can fill up a theater. So
If
I think
he's
he's
still
a good
got the
cast.
power, he'd be great.
He looked pretty
Yeah.
old in Interstellar, and that movie was a while ago.
Yeah, a lot of that is
Hmm.
makeup, though. You know.
True.
He's in Stella.
Yeah, he was the old man. He was.
I thought it was Michael
dad.
Caine.
Michael Caine's in Interstellar.
No, the dude's dad or grandpa, the kid's grandpa, who he's living with when he's
He's
in space.
Murphy's grandfather. Michael Caine is the scientist who's Anne Hathaway's father.
Yeah, the two old guys in the movie. You might get a mix.
I have not seen
old.
that film in such a long time because I remember thinking at the time that's pretty and also complete bullshit. But maybe I was being cynical. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it.
No, it's
No, you're spot on.
It's one of the most overrated movies on planet Earth. It literally is. It's fucking
Just a great acting and a fantastic soundtrack.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous stupidity. That's pretty much it.
Love is the answer to the universe.
I'm not even talking about that.
No, it isn't.
You can pick on that stupid shit easily, you know. But like for me, it's the fucking main scene of the film with the ticking talk planet where they just turn all the scientists' brains off. They don't have the fucking robot go out and get the thing immediately when they establish that it can. They have the dude just stand there and fucking die even though he wasn't helping. There's so many things wrong with that. It's like one of the most broken scenes in any sci-fi film.
But it looks so good.
But it's so pretty, and the music, it's ticking and talking, and yeah.
Are you trying to get us back on track right now, Cynic?
I don't know, man. I'm sick.
Yeah, he's Cynic hanging on by a thread, by the way.
I'm hanging on and doing my thing.
Soldier through, bro. Is this a slide? What is this exactly?
No, sorry. I came to the private chat 3 minutes late and yet had been on topic and gave me the article. This was the article regarding what Kreger was talking about. I don't even know what is this about weapons or is this about
this is Resident Evil. It's
gotcha.
Him explaining that he's going to tell a different story within the world. He basically went on to say that this is not breaking the rules of the game. He's a big worshiper of the games, so he's telling a story that's a love letter to the games and follows the rules of the games. But he won't be retelling any story within the saga, though it will align with the lore. He said it's going to be outside of the characters of the games as well. So he's basically creating his own universe that's based on the games, but not exactly adapting any of the stories that have been told in game form.
I have never believed anyone who said they love the games.
Yeah,
because that has never been true.
Anytime they use the phrase "love letter," I'm out. You just
Paul
that's always
W.
shit.
In the behind the scenes for the first Resident Evil, Paul W.S. Anderson said that he loved the games as well, and then he went on to say that he played the first three over 3 weeks, and that helped him write the script. And it's you clearly didn't love the games because none of it is in the
thing about a term as vague as love letter is because it's so ambiguous. It allows you to do literally anything you want and say, well, it's in the spirit of an adaptation. It's just it's a love letter to it. It's not an adaptation of it. I just don't trust anyone. Either way, either they tell people don't play the games before you do it, and that never seems to work. Or they say, yeah, please tell the audience how much you definitely loved and played these games. And then they can't actually answer any questions about it. I don't really trust anyone on that subject unless they can basically talk me through the game at this point. Or if I've seen them playing. And even then, I don't trust that I've seen them playing it because fucking Brie Larson claimed she played Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, no.
You can tell a gamer and a phony pretty quick, So the whole terms like love letter and this and that, it just never comes off. It never comes off across the way they think it does.
And the criticism is so annoying because they want the cake and eat it too. They want to go, well, it's an original adaptation. It doesn't follow the game. But when they finally follow the game, they go, why are you angry? It follows the game.
Yeah.
It's no, it's one or the other. It can't be both.
It's flip-flop, whatever is convenient for them.
Yeah.
But adaptations are difficult. I just think you should strive to create something that anyone can enjoy, but the people who understand know the games or know the lore are going to get bonuses. But it should function as a story for anyone. That should be your goal. If it's
Yeah.
only like works if you've played the stupid Minecraft game or that you understand the references, then you shit as a writer. You're not opening it up to the world. You're not creating it something that a wide audience can enjoy. It should be
No,
something timeless for everyone.
like two major reasons. That's one of the really big reasons. Then you also got like it's very difficult to do that if you're only going to do it partially as well. It's
Yeah.
like you can try and make this point tirelessly to fucking people who like Superman, for example, and say, well, Lex Luthor was also dumb and retarded in the comics, therefore it's fine. So this is not the same character, and also it's not the same story. It's not an adaptation. So like you can't use backstory if you're not using backstory. You can't say, well, this bit of backstory applies, but the rest of it doesn't, because then that's no guide at all. And when they do try, like weirdly enough, I think The Matrix 4 is the closest example of a proper hybrid I've ever seen, in the sense that it actually does lean into like other media backstory. It does borrow from the Matrix Online game, for example, in order to explain some of why people are where they are, doing what they're doing, and why the world state is what it is, partially. But that doesn't work because nobody fucking played the Matrix Online, so no one actually knows what these characters are. Like you ideally, yeah, like it's fine to, even in an adaptation, like, it probably is worth it just spelling things out, at least the bare essentials, so people have like the mainline understanding of who these characters are. There are many different ways of doing that. It's hard to adapt straight from one medium to another without giving people any lead in like that. But then if you only do it halfway, then you fuck up in a whole bunch of different reasons, and it's always a mess.
Well, we just saw two great examples where Superman just fucking slapped it together with duct tape, and Fantastic Four had a really good montage to kind of get you up to speed. And it all depends on the amount of effort that they put in. Is it going to be a crappy exposition dump, or is it going to be an entertaining scene where we can get the appropriate information that we need in an enjoyable way? Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's they always say about the comics, it's like Superman would fight ice and all that. You go, but you do realize in another adaptation, Superman fought with Ronald Reagan. So it's like you can't
which
say,
ones are you
well,
referencing?
in the comics he fought Nazis, because he's done the very opposite in Red Son. He's fought with the commies. He's done everything in the comics, but they always say that. They always point to a specific comic.
They treat the comics like they're one big perfect continuity that is just the Bible, when there's so many of them that are shit.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
we
what about the
established
comics
this
that
the
are
other
shit?
stream.
Can we talk about
The other stream we did was just going through the wacky DC villains. Like
oh,
Egg
that was
2.
fucking
It's
hilarious.
like,
The wall.
you want comic accuracy, do you? Okay, then here's one for you. This man gives the superheroes AIDS. He's called Hemogoblin. To be fair, I would love to see an adaptation. I
Yeah,
want James
that
Gunn
was
to
same
do that
here.
up, but, like,
I'm so
it's
glad I
the
know
same-
who he is.
It's a salient point. That, so yeah, like you have to then explain, well, which version of the character you're adapting. Is it communist Superman because he was a communist for a bit? Is it this version? Is it this version? It doesn't work that way. You have to just make yourself your new definitive Superman. You can skip bits of the origin story if you want to, but you still have to give us kind of a foundational understanding of your understanding of who the Superman is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Injustice, Superman took over the world. He was evil. He was like a Nazi dictator.
Batman Begins is another great one where you summarize Bruce's entire life from childhood to teenage life and through different flashbacks and out of order. And I think the way they did it there was fantastic, because the flashback or the vision, they're all prompted by certain scenes, and it just flows in a way that works really, really well. So by the time the movie gets started and he comes back to the city, you have a full picture of this guy's life instead of having to sit through every single moment. So there's good ways to do it, and there's shit ways to do it. So it's just disappointing sometimes.
In other news, Fantastic Four, this is the third week in a row talking about this movie. Fantastic Four has grossed $430 million at the global box office. Its production budget was over $200 million. So everyone talking about how this is profitable is fucking wrong. This is a bomb.
How is
This
it?
is an underperformer.
Yeah, how's it comparing to say like other recent? How's that box office stack up, say, against Captain America?
It's better, but it's still, when you consider, I believe it's 16 of the first 19 movies in the MCU made over $500 million. That was the norm. Now this is like, oh, that's a success because it finally cracked $500 million.
500 was the low end or something.
That was the low end, but now it's its new ceiling.
What's the international domestic split?
I think it's not 60-40 like it used to be. Hang on. let's go look.
While you're looking that up, I actually had a quick question that I'm just wondering everyone could actually ask, because we always have budgets for everything other than the marketing. Is there any examples of a movie with like very, very, very minor marketing, but like insane profits because of the effect of the marketing? And like vice
Blair
versa, a
Witch?
movie. But yeah, but again, I don't remember how much of the money was spent on marketing, or if it's just subtle marketing. Or for example, Captain Marvel, I remember seeing her on bananas. I remember seeing her everywhere, just literally holding up a banana in a grocery store and sending a
fucking
picture of it to my friend. She had a fucking banana. But like that was the most ridiculous thing ever. But then look, it made $1 billion. So sometimes you can get the return. But I just want to know, what's the best strategy, like to minimalize your marketing in terms of the budget, but really nail the execution so you can get a good payoff.
Honestly,
There's
I
gotta
think
be some
the
cases
best
out there.
strategy is to get incredibly lucky and hope that like the audience starts memeing it and creating organic marketing, like the Barbenheimer effect, which you can't actually replicate, because they did try to do that, and you can always tell when a corporation has tried to replicate something organic because it's so false and fake. But any other subsequent attempt to say, hey, look, this movie's out and this completely different movie's out, so let's put them in a portmanteau, doesn't work in the same way. Viral marketing is like, it's sort of weird in the sense that it is so massively profitable and it's almost impossible to actually pull off. It's like you really just have to wait for the audience to decide if they're going to do it for you.
Remember Joker, where they went, "You're gonna die if you see this movie.
Yeah, you're a
gonna
piece of shit.
shot."
You're gonna turn into an incel instantly.
Yeah, like fuck you. You're gonna die, and it went, "Ooh, I might die. I'll go watch it."
Yep. Made $1 billion. How many people went to watch it out of spite?
That was journalists trying to criticize the movie for saying that it lionized violence through Arthur Fleck's character.
Oh yeah, it's going to create
people...
school shooters. What a
exactly.
fucking fantastic time that was.
And then the shooting happens in Frozen or something. Isn't that what happened? Yeah.
Frozen had a fight. Joker was a completely safe place. All the fighting was in Frozen too.
Nobody's fighting in Joker. We're all watching a damn movie, fucking like locked in.
I think an example of a movie that had relatively cheap marketing that was super effective was the Cloverfield, the original one. I think, was it directed by Matt Reeves? I know that J.J. Abrams produced it, but they had this like viral online campaign where they had like secrets and lore about what was going on behind the scenes, and the trailer didn't reveal too much, just the destruction of New York City without actually showing what was destroying it. And people got super curious. They were going on to online forums that were created by the production company, and it was fascinating.
Because I could think of a time in music. I remember years ago, I think Beyonce released an album with no marketing. She just dropped it, and just because of that, it blew up. Just from like, whoa, no marketing, that's ballsy. I can't think of an example when it comes to movies, but I think that would be interesting, because if you pull it off, the amount of money you're saving, just the profit, it'd be incredible. I just feel like that's a strategy that must have been implemented at some point. Versus millions of dollars worth of marketing for a shit movie that bombs, you know, like.
Well, they've all relied on the brand. They've relied on it being a Marvel movie. Superman's relied on it being the next DC movie.
Yeah. This is part of the reason I respect Weapons. You just showed me a creepy trailer of a bunch of kids running down the street like Naruto characters. I'm like, what the fuck's going on there? And I just respect an interesting concept that's, you know, well executed. I'm so tired of everything having to be a sequel or part of a franchise. I'm just sick of it.
Weapons had advertisements, because who was it? Was it Jordan Peele? He fired his team that was supposed to buy the rights to it.
Yeah, he left afterwards when they lost the bidding war. Yep.
Yeah. He
wait, what bidding war for what?
So
for
when
the
they
weapons.
Yeah, so there was like in January 2023, there was a huge bidding war for the script, and WB only won it because they offered to cover all of the production costs, which were 38 million, and Zach Kreger got 10 million of that as a salary.
So wait, they were just bidding over his script? Like that's how it works?
Yeah, for the rights to his script and to distribute the movie and everything. And WB also promised like theatrical release. And I think Jordan Peele, like he was like just like minutes late on the bid or something like that, and he was so disappointed with it that he split from his management at whatever the studio is that he was a part of. I can't remember.
The entire class would have been black if it was fucking.
I literally you took the words out of my mouth. If Jordan Peele
Like,
bought the script,
100%.
it would be set in Chicago.
Yes,
Entire black cast.
100%.
White people are evil.
Yep.
Would the witch?
He's
Would the
so
witch?
fucking predictable, man.
Would the witch look like the Colonel from KFC?
No, it'd be
Well,
fucking
hello,
Lizzo.
here, children.
Fucking Lizzo, man. She'd be fat and black, 100%, man.
No,
It
the
just-
witch
just-
would be white because white people are bad.
Yeah, it'd be
Oh
the
shit!
white
Yeah, you're right. It'd be
Colonel.
the only white character. Would be the witch. He's the most overrated fucking actor, man. I'm sorry, actor director. I like Get Out. I think Us was retarded, and I don't even remember Nope. So yeah, I don't know. His politics just plague his legacy, in my opinion.
Same as the Sinners dude. What's his name? Ryan Coogler. It's just all race politics.
Coogler. Yeah, him and Peele are like the same person in my head.
Yeah.
Just I haven't seen Sinners yet, but that's next on the list after all the discussion. It was you, Nia, saying you liked it more than this, because I really like this, and everyone has said Sinners was okay or shit, but or great. Like I cannot get a read on this movie.
So, did we talk about the box office yet for this slide, or?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it was
I'll
very
watch-
brief.
Fucking bomb.
Did you grab this? Was this screen grab from a Culture Crave post?
I just it's either discussing film or Culture Crave. Just scroll on
Well,
through.
Culture Crave always do this, where they mislead the audience as to what the numbers actually are. Like every time they do this in the comments, I basically give them a breakdown of what the production budget is, what you got to add marketing on top of that, and then the 40-60 split between international and domestic box office revenue, which is what the studios get. I mean, in China, they get like 20 to 30% as well. So when a movie costs like 300 to 330, 350 million, it needs to make 700 million plus to break even. And they never get that right. I think it's intentional by this stage.
Oh, it absolutely is. They're trying to paint it as a success.
I mean, will this one even make it to 600?
No, it's not
No.
going to make. It might not make it to
No.
5.
I don't think it's going
Ooh.
to hit 5.
Where's the legs? There's no momentum. Nobody's talking about it anymore. It's been 4 weeks. It's just there's nothing.
Didn't,
No rewatchability.
Didn't Ken Feige say he was trying to talk to, was it Gareth Edwards, about getting CGI costs lower? Because he did was the creator in like a film about androids, and it was like super cheap for how well it looks. And I think he said his primary motivation is to try and get CGI costs down.
Well, he could
Because
just
that-
use less of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, what if it
there's
actually
always
looked
that.
good too? Because
Yeah.
we watched the Avengers yesterday, and Amy was like, "Holy shit, this looks so good!" Like the Hulk looked, he looks borderline real in some shots.
He looks
And then
the
we had
work
just seen Fantastic Four, and it doesn't. It doesn't look
CGI is
any-
painfully
anywhere near that quality.
inconsistent, man. This the difference in effort put in depending on the studio or whatever, and the way they use it as well. Like when it comes to lighting, like there's so much that goes into proper CGI, but when you use it as a crutch, holy fuck, man.
Well, if half your movie is reshoots, like the CGI people don't know what they're drawing because you
Yeah.
spend 6 months on one scene and they go, nope, throw it out, start again. You've only got 2 months.
Yep.
You're like, oh
Like-
shit.
Cracks the whip.
Galactus in that still looks really pretty, but it doesn't look real. It just looks like a painting.
Yeah.
Don't they like? Doesn't Disney notoriously underpay all of their CGI and VFX people? And didn't they offshore a lot of it a couple of years ago?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
Chinese.
So unlike Weta Digital, which handles pretty much most of the special effects on movies that they work on, same with Industrial Light and Magic, Disney has a proclivity of handing off scenes to different studios, which is why there's a lack of consistency in how the CGI looks. So they'll hire like 20 offshore special effects companies and digital effects companies to do the CGI work, and it looks random because
Which
you've
is
got
funny 'cause
multiple.
You shouldn't
They
get Frat.
own
You shouldn't get
ILM now, don't they?
Thanos.
Because didn't ILM come as part of the Lucas
Fox.
deal?
Yeah,
Oh,
but ILM to pay them their wages, they just can't afford it. The budget would balloon, so they just hand it off to like Chinese companies.
That makes so much fucking sense, man. MODOK and Thanos shouldn't be in the same franchise. It's
Sorry,
just two different standards.
The
of quality.
budget will balloon more than 200 or 300 million.
Absolutely.
How
I don't
about
even
this?
think
How
this is-
about just don't fucking use all this CGI? It's so wasteful. Just get characters. They have some of the most interesting characters in the world, and the one thing that Marvel still has, even to this day, is actors. We've never had an issue with the acting, for the most part, for the good ones. And you to think that they can't actually do a character study or something that's a little bit less lower stakes, and just fucking no more MODOK. Galactus was a big waste for a character I wanted to see for years. Just put a dude in a room and have a conversation.
And it is the thing as well. If you look at what are still like their highest performing characters or the characters with the best expectations for their movies, it doesn't tend to be the ones who necessarily need massive CGI concluding battles. It's like Iron Man, because he's a human under that suit. He's just like everyone's wish fulfillment fantasy. This is what I could do if I had money. Batman, kind of similar. Spider-Man, basically every high school kid if he gets superpowers. It's like these are normal human beings, and you can do normal human being stories with them in a slightly elevated way, and people will
100%.
like it more than they will any movie that relies on, oh, let's teleport the Earth to get away from giant space demon.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Spider-Man is a coming-of-age story. There's so many things you can do with that. Tony's abuse of alcohol was something that they completely skipped over and made a joke. There's an alternate end beginning to Iron Man 2 where he's puking his guts out and like totally hungover and just showing how his alcohol abuse has become a real problem. And they cut that scene out completely and made a fucking sanitized bullshit movie. I think that scene and like a different version of that movie could have changed so many things, and just showing the dark side of humanity through Tony's performances. They could have done that for cheap, and we could still have Iron Man movies. They fucked it up.
Not just that. After Thanos, everyone said it was the perfect opportunity to go back to street level.
Yes.
You could have kept your costs down, the stakes lower, more grounded. But no, they just went back to fucking Galactus.
Yeah, they established their fan base to the T. Like Endgame, with all its problems, was massively successful. Chill out now, cut the budget back, and just like focus on these characters that you have, and then build up to where we are now. Imagine they took their time instead of doing all the Disney Plus shows and give us real stories and different areas of Marvel that we wouldn't normally be able to get. Like the type of scene like Daredevil and Punisher on the rooftop. I don't think we're ever going to get anything like that again. It's one of those scenes where like, I can't believe this is still going. They're allowing them to actually flesh this out and explore their different perspectives. This is amazing. Why can't we get a show about that?
The only reason Endgame was popular despite its flaws is that it did have all the characters in it, and we'd spent time with all those characters in relatively small scale stories. It's like, you build up to that. You can justify your major set piece, even to the point where people will forgive and forget glaring problems with the plot because they want to see the satisfying resolution to the stories that they've shared with these characters, which have almost all begun in some variant of street level. You know, even Thor, who's seemingly like the most out there of the original Avengers cast, his first movie is all about denying him his powers and putting him on Earth at a street level story.
Humbling him.
And then you can bring that up gradually over time. Endgame finishes, and instead of doing that again and scaling back, it's like, well, how can we make it even bigger? Well, there's more than one universe now. Let's do multiverses.
Oh, it's so clear. It's so fucked. That's just it. You nailed it right there. That's it. It's so fucking simple, man. They could have made these things for like an eighth of the cost.
The final fight of an Endgame, it's going to be that times 50. Where it's just going to be one CGI blob fest of everyone fighting. And you can't even tell who's on whose side because you'll have good Iron Man and bad Iron Man. So you won't even have a fucking idea who's fighting who.
All I know is that I'm on the side of whoever Riri Williams is fighting. Like, because she's got to be the villain, having done a deal with the devil.
Platoon, are we ever going to see her again? Like, I'm kind of sad knowing that I might never, ever get any more Ironheart content. Like, she's a significant part of my life and my channel's growth. Like, that bitch, I'm tied to her.
It would be funny. It was like, we got the X-Men, we got the Fantastic Four, and Riri is the only survivor of the MCU.
So terrible.
Her and She-Hulk should have a show.
Yeah, there's so many people. Are we ever going to see Gaia again? Are we ever going to see She-Hulk again? You never know.
I just hope they die. Like Doomsday, like just you know what the Mountain did to Oberyn? He just crushes She-Hulk's head.
I'd never actually looked at these figures before. That's pretty stark. I mean,
Was that a pun?
Yes, it's
I got you.
Does Phase 5 include Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yes, that's
hard
the thing that's
carrying.
sort of hidden from you, right? Because like even with the like Phase 4 and Phase 5, probably the bulk of that is taken up by one, maybe two of those movies, like Daredevil Born Again, freaking Deadpool Wolverine. It kind of rhymes. I'm tired. There's that one, and Spider-Man No Way Home, which did really well, and Guardians 3, which did pretty well. So like those three movies alone eat into a huge amount of the overall earnings for phases like 4 and 5.
This Nia, you confirmed this wasn't adjusted for inflation though, right?
It wasn't.
Okay.
Bear in mind, Avengers Endgame made 2.8 billion worldwide. Infinity War is 2 billion. So that's like 4.5 billion for phase 3. If you remove Deadpool and Wolverine from the equation, 5 films grossed about 2 billion, right? For phase 5.
Damn.
That is
but as you said, no adjusted for inflation. So that 3.8 is probably like what, 6, 5?
At
Probably
least
closer to 7.
5.
This is a sad trend, man.
It is, and because even in phase 4 has some fairly significant outliers. You've got Multiverse of Madness that kicks it off. Terrible movie, but being like basically the first major post-Endgame project, it made a huge amount of money. It had fucking Wakanda Forever, that finished off phase 4, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't a massive success, but I think obviously because it still benefited a little bit from the cultural moment of the first film, so it still made like 800 million, which is unusually high for a modern Marvel film.
Far
so again,
From Home,
get rid of both of
well.
those, and the number is even worse.
Yeah, I think you could slip in Far From Home. I think that was still profitable as well. It just wasn't until Thor: Love and Thunder and like Ant-Man. Did Thor make money, or was that like?
No, it did. It made almost 800. I think it made like 750-ish.
Yeah, but then Ant-Man and the Marvels is where we actually started to get bombs.
Yeah,
I think Ant-Man still made money, didn't it?
Pretty sure it did make money.
I thought Ant-Man 3 may have just about climbed over the break-even line.
Yeah.
If it did, barely.
Well, yeah, and that's break-even by the reported budget, which obviously before all the fucking reshoots and stuff add to it. So I don't really know. Basically, but when you're spending that much money on a film, like break-even against the reported budget probably isn't enough.
Wait, I'm seeing the reported budget for Ant-Man is like, is this true? 400 million.
That sounds right, because it was, because it went through so many like different phases of reshoots, didn't it?
So bad too.
So if it cost 400 million and it only made 476 at the international box office, that was a $400 million loss for Disney.
Yeah, that's right. It didn't even break even. Yeah.
The chat saying it made 80 grand. That's pretty rough.
Isn't that Ant-Man though? Isn't that the film that killed Kang? Destroyed them as a villain.
Kang was killed from the first scene. Loki killed Kang, and Ant-Man killed Kang, and the Loki season 2 killed Kang, and then Kang's fucking wife, her girlfriend, and his fucking domestic abuse destroyed him. Like, that guy should be studied, man.
It's like they wanted him to be the phase anchoring, not even the phase, the saga anchoring villain, and that he's less threatening than Team Rocket.
Yeah,
he meets the same end every single time.
You talk to ants, and then he dies to ants like 5 seconds later. It's just like he's such a shit villain, and like he's not a terrible actor. He does have some presence in some scenes, but if you saw Loki season 2 and you saw stuttering Kang, bro, like I could do like for anyone who doesn't know, the best version of Kang was an Ant-Man. He was at least like fucking mildly masculine in that one. He wasn't.
Well, he was trying to
the stuttering moron that he was in Loki season 2.
You could see the range of Jonathan Majors because he went played Chinese Kang, and he was just Chinese Kang with a bad voice. Then he was Egyptian Kang, and all he did was a gay voice. I'm Chinese.
That's so fucking bad. It's gonna age even worse knowing that scene is worthless. So all we have is to like appreciate the acting, which was shit.
What about the very ending where all the Kangs show up and they're going woo, and then it just goes nowhere?
The most hilariously pointless scene in Marvel history, because it's like it's obviously should be as significant as Thanos going and getting the gauntlet and saying, "All right, I'll do it myself." but that led to a whole saga and one of the best villains ever. This leads to nothing. He's gone.
I just remember Lizard Kang going, "Rah!"
God, Jesus, man. Yeah, in Loki, him being the Joker, that didn't work as well. I think every version of Kang was pretty much botched.
But yeah, I mean, it's a fundamentally different approach because, like, every Thanos mention or scene or reference leading up to him is all designed to tell you, like, there is a bigger, badder threat out there, and it is coming. Like, this will get bigger, and when it gets to its biggest point, he will be there because he's the big ultimate bad guy. You don't see him lose. You don't see him fuck around like a clown. You don't see him get eaten by communist ants.
Yeah,
You don't see any of that shit. And he's in charge of, all the other villains by implication, and certainly Loki, who's kind of, the best probably MCU villain besides Thanos. So that's very basic, competently done stuff. And then I understand the temptation to try and do something different with Kang, but you're not going to convince me to take him seriously after showing me what he's done in that way. But then, fuck it, now I'm in the position of saying at least Kang got some setup. Doctor Doom's had a post-credit scene in Fantastic Four that most people probably didn't stick around for.
I didn't see it.
At least they tried. Like with Thanos, they immediately understood their task from the lines that he had at the beginning, so you really get an understanding for his presence and his perspective immediately, and then having him skillfully beat the Hulk, not muscle him or use some crazy ability, tactically take him down with combat. Like, it's just really great way of introducing a character, and then killing the boss of the Avengers, or the main villain of the Avengers, in the first scene. They did so much work for Thanos in 5 minutes, and it's just like, you don't need that much time. Kang is a failure because you had like 7 opportunities. He had so much more screen time than Thanos. It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. And they did.
And there's also like the fundamental unrealizability of whatever the hell it was he was trying to do. So I'm going to kill everyone in infinite universes. Well,
yeah,
but you can't. There's infinite. Like, I don't know that's not how infinite works. At least Thanos is. I'm going to wipe out half the universe is vaguely quantifiable and sort of understandable, even though his economics suck, but, never mind. But, like, as soon, infinite multiverses, infinite stakes, infinite deaths by infinite Kangs doesn't mean anything because you've told me it's infinite. So what's it, like, is he going to be doing this for, he's going to have to do it for infinite amounts of time. It will never end, like the MCU. And that's just I'm not interested in that. Like, you can't really do worse than that as a way to not involve stakes in your story.
You just make people don't care. It's at that point in time, you're just like, oh, the multiverse and all the dimensions got killed. How many billions of lives were lost? Okay, moving on. It just becomes meaningless. Where, like, just something as simple as weapons. Within 5 minutes, I was worried about those kids. Like, how's a whole classroom of kids just disappear? I need to fucking get the answers. It could be very simple, but once you get into like a multiverse, like, you're not gonna feel the same way if a whole dimension, just vanishes. It just doesn't work. And I don't know. Their understanding of stakes is just completely twisted, and there's almost no excuse for it when you have the MCU in its prime to learn from. But here we are.
Yeah.
Well, so it's like Sauron. You don't see Sauron die instantly and then come back like every time.
Yeah,
it's the ring wraiths. It's Saruman. It's the fucking rot face.
Yep. Saruman's presence was very important because you couldn't have a physical Sauron there, so you need those little checkpoint villains to build up to and even the book didn't have the eye, so having that as a presentation, it just works. He wasn't Kylo Ren where he's losing to fucking a fucking nobody in the very first movie, just stupid approach to villains. And it's probably the reason we love the villain in Weapons, is just like, finally someone who is intimidating and ruthless, not this misunderstood bullshit. Just give me an evil villain and make them interesting.
So is this the cast?
That's what I assume, but there's no villain listed here.
How is the Punisher gonna compete with the Hulk?
I've discussed this. Is it Cuck Hulk? Is it the fucking loser Soy Hulk? Or is it the Incredible Hulk? But I could see the Punisher slapping that guy and he just cries or something. But if it's actually the Incredible Hulk, this doesn't work.
How would the banter say Spider-Man captures Punisher? He's going, "Fuck you! I'll kill children. I don't give a fuck." And Spider-Man like go, "Whoa!"
I just picture Josh Bernthal trying to act with Tom Holland. Like, what the fuck? Come on. I just can't. I don't know. They're dynamic. I think that works with Iron Man and Tom Holland, and I think they might be trying to recreate that. But Daredevil and Punisher have the magic together because of what they do and the different perspectives. I don't know how these two together are going to work.
The darker tone?
I don't know how these two together are going to work.
What's the darker tone?
I don't know how these two together are going to work.
What's the darker tone? Like Daredevil, when he's talking to Foggy, he says he beats up pedophiles. Spider-Man doesn't deal with pedophiles. He's a bit more happier. That type of in Marvel, in the comics, it gets darker. But Spider-Boy, what we got here, he doesn't deal with Epstein. That's Punisher and Daredevil.
He's more likely to be the victim of pedophiles than
Yeah.
That's
That's what you nailed it. That's what the story's gonna be about. Peter Parker's trauma.
Yeah, he ties Peter and goes, the CIA and Mossad, they blackmail pedophile rings everywhere, and Spider-Man's just learning about the world.
I
Are we gonna get
I
into?
rescued someone's bike the other day. You know, does that count?
We're gonna get into Zendaya fatigue soon. Like, I'm just so tired of this chick's face. I don't know what it is.
Like, is Sadie Sink Gwen?
No, it's an original
Maybe?
character, brand new
Oh.
character
Looks
they
like she would
announced.
be Mary
Oh.
Jane, not MJ. But,
Yeah, it's strange. They
Well-
invent a new redhead character, but they don't make her MJ.
but it's not.
There
Mary
was
Jane.
speculation a couple of months ago that she'd be playing Jean Grey in the rebooted MCU, but if she's playing an original character here, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did you guys see the picture that came out last week of Punisher on set? He kind of looks like a butt plug.
Yeah.
He
No, I
looks
didn't
so-
see that.
He looks so dumb. Pull that picture.
He's, yeah,
up. Just-
he's not
He looks-
threatening whatsoever.
yeah. You
He's
need a
so
picture of his-
perfectly, like
Go
his
ahead, yeah.
beard is so perfect. It looks like a character on Jersey Shore.
Right.
His introduction in season 2 of Daredevil is one of my all-time favorites because I remember watching Daredevil season 1 specifically because someone told me Punisher was going to be in season 2. But by the time it came around, I was still like, oh, almost jump scared by the intro because of the way they do it. They make it seem like a whole faction is killing off people. And then in one scene, you realize it's just one man. And then they cut to the back of his head. I'm like, oh, fuck. Shane Berthal is like, he's got such presence, man. Except here. I don't know what they did to him here. What
He's
in the
got-
fuck is
He's
that?
got a little
Fucking gif
Jufro
on the
going
right,
on.
too. Oh my god.
It's
Why
like
is he so
someone's dressed
wide?
him up. It's like his girlfriend has dressed him up and he's unhappy.
That's exactly it.
I wanted to be a Daredevil, and now he's forced to go as this.
I asked for a Daredevil costume. Like he has that frown, man.
Well, like,
He's just
it's
too
gonna be
clean and too neat and too
Yeah.
it's
well
gonna be
put
like
together.
nano machines. He's going to have all high-tech weaponry to take down Spider-Man.
This
His
is the
bullet
Disney
points work.
sanitization. Like,
Yeah.
like, look at him. Where's the blood? Where's the fucking the Bernthal edge? The reason this guy works with this character.
That's kind of what I think they're going to think they have to do because they can't actually do the Punisher as the Punisher is meant to be done. Even as the Punisher was done like in Netflix Daredevil, which is it's very personal, immediate, it's gritty, it's like a fucking drill going through his foot, there's blood everywhere. They can't do that because the movie will not support the age rating. So instead of that, they're going to think, well, he's got to be like, we've got to have violence. Let's just have it like loads of explosions, APC chase on the streets, whatever we can do, which is violent in the most depersonalized way imaginable, which doesn't suit his character at all, but at least allows the movie to get its age rating.
How does he get an APC? He's
I
a
don't know if it's
fuck-
his yet, but there is an APC because we saw that in the behind the scenes little footage that came out last week or whenever it was. It might
Like,
be his.
He's on the run. He's always avoiding the police, and he somehow gets a fucking tank.
But there's
Yeah,
a
doesn't seem very
surprise
spiritual, like-
APC in Black Widow. Like APCs are really hard to detect. Apparently, they
That's
just,
the
you
very
know,
first thing I think of. Dracoff's APC chase.
Yeah,
Like, just
you can
spawns
just
in
jump
the
scare
city.
people with them.
It's so stupid.
So, like, Cook Hulk, well, is he just going to serve as the mentor? Go and listen, Peter. If a woman wants to have another boyfriend, that's okay with her.
all
It's
right.
her body, her choice.
I
Open
I'm s-
relationships are great.
I'm still just confused how you're going to make any because there's the three of them are supposed to be against each other is what was reported, right? So this just makes for a really what fight is there to be had? Like Hulk can just
If-
grab both of these and smash their skulls
Exactly.
together and it's over.
This is
Even
like
if
I'm
it's-
saying you can't have Incredible Hulk. Him being a bitch has to be a fundamental part of the story. It's the only way it works.
But like
I don't know how they can pull this off.
even Punisher and Spider-Man, it's a little weird because Spider-Man at least has the ability to swing and like climb up things. Punisher is completely bound by the ground.
Yeah, but
And
he
he's
has
super
guns.
strong.
but
He's still
then
the nano.
doesn't
Does he
yeah,
have
the
Iron Man
nanosuit.
suit? Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, it could be bulletproof.
Yeah.
And he's got those spider legs that could just stab him.
Like I don't know. I just don't see how they can pull this off while maintaining, what works for all three characters.
I hope they
Scor-
don't give. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I hope they don't give Punisher like an Iron Man suit.
Oh, that's probably what they're gonna do. It's the only solution. Because I always say Ultron. I fucking hate the Hulkbuster. It's a disrespect to Hulk's character, and the concept of the Hulk is constantly disrespected. And like that's just one of the many 1v1 fights he lost. He lost to Thor, lost to Thanos, lost to Tony. Got his ass whooped the entire time. Never won a proper fight.
What's that? Vi from Arcane. He just has those gigantic fists.
The gauntlets.
Like fists bigger than his fucking body. He's just gonna punch Spider-Man.
Who's Scorpion? I'm not aware of this character in Spider-Man lore.
He's a villain who
isn't he part of the Sinister Six?
Yeah. He's basically he has this like he's a scorpion and he shoots like venom out from his tail, which can melt things. It's like acid or venom.
His front tail or a back tail?
It's back tail.
I thought Shocker. Well, didn't they have Shocker in the first one, Homecoming? What happened to him? The black dude was playing Shocker. I remember Vulture, Shocker.
Vulture.
No, Vulture was the main character, but the
Michael
black dude
Keaton.
was Shocker. I'm pretty sure because I know they had a couple villains in Homecoming. I just can't remember if he died or not.
Scorpion is in Homecoming as well.
Am I mixing him up? Was it Scorpion or Shocker that was in Homecoming? Because maybe they just like recast.
Shocker, I think Shocker is because he gets the gloves, right? The electric gloves that punch people powerfully.
Yes. Maybe he died. I'm just missing him.
Maybe I don't remember him dying, but it's
same.
possible.
So does that mean was Scorpion in Homecoming?
He was in the post-credit scene when Vulture's in prison. He meets Scorpion, and then I think we see Scorpion in the next movie. Or no, the next one. He can't have been in the next one because the next one was Far From Home, and that was in Europe.
Yeah, it's Shocker.
Okay.
Shocker was in the first one, and Scorpion was at the after credit scenes. Then it was Mysterio in number 2, and now Scorpion's coming back from number 1 to number 4. Is this
strange?
Yeah, 4.
I'm guessing though they'll have another bigger, badder villain that they haven't announced yet.
He doesn't seem like a main villain for Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's not got main villain energy to him.
Yeah, look at him. He's just
oh,
there.
Doctor Doom. There you go. They'll introduce us to Doctor Doom.
Maybe. Well, again, Platoon, you're mentioning he doesn't have any setup. They might be trying to shove in setup anywhere they can. So if he's in this movie, would that be a shock?
Funny if he was. He just keeps going after kids. This one, he's breastfeeding.
Well, because like the ending of Fantastic Four, it was implied that the baby or whatever healed Doctor Doom's face. So maybe it's like in this one, he sees Doctor Doom and he thinks it's Tony, and because there's all that trauma of him having lost his mentor, sort of deal, it ends up being it's
a different universe, though. Like you'd have to explain how he got there.
Doom's daycare. Yeah. He just has a nursery of babies.
Yeah. I'm rolling with it here. That's all. Because Scorpion doesn't seem like especially if Hulk is in this movie. Why would you have a low-level guy like Scorpion as your villain?
Hulk can just punch all of them in the face and it's over.
Right.
5-minute movie. Why is MJ here? What does she have to offer?
Scorpion's a pretty decent villain in the comics, but he complements Spider-Man well. When you throw in Hulk and Punisher, it doesn't work.
Exactly. That's
Who is Spider-Man's most iconic? Like, who is his Joker equivalent? Who's his iconic villain?
Green Goblin is his.
Goblin.
Joker,
that might be the one. If we're gonna pick his Joker, Venom is probably a good second choice as well. But the dynamic with him and Goblin is so much personal.
Go ahead, Regan.
Well, who kills Gwen Stacy in the comics?
Green Goblin. So it's canon to his story. Like you can't really have Spider-Man without having that happen at some point. It feels like,
but it's canon. Obviously, it's canon in the MCU to the other Peter Parker story, right? It's like it is
right.
Sort of it's brought into play by No Way Home.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
Have they ever done the Hobgoblin, or they've only done the Green Goblin?
I think they've only done Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I thought Mr. Ned Leeds would become the fat Hobgoblin.
Because I always liked the Hobgoblin more. It's just sad we never got to see him on screen.
Oh, isn't Ned a wizard now?
Oh, we did. We got James Franco.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because he uses the sling ring. He's magic now. So Ned has my. To be fair, I kind of like Ned. I think he's kind of funny, but I don't know. I don't know really. It's another complication to add into this because you've got the Hulk versus the Punisher versus Tom Holland as Peter Parker, and Peter Parker's best friend is a wizard.
He's
So-
Sorcerer Supreme. Sorcerer Supreme Ned. I agree. He's a really fun side character. His moment in Infinity War, we're like, we're all gonna die. It worked really, really well as a
Yeah, that
setup
was
for
good.
Peter and everything. It just good
I
bro
wonder
moment.
how much of it that they will actually pretend never happened, or like rely on you to have forgotten, because it's a different set of writers for this one, isn't it? Because John Watts isn't doing this one. This is by the guy who did. It's directed by the guy who did Shang-Chi. I think the two writers are different as well. So it might be that they play a little bit fast and loose with what's previously been established. Because if not, like, what's Punisher going to do against the sling ring?
Who knows? I think my entire interest in the MCU going forward is to see what they ignore and what they keep, and like how the fuck they're gonna piece this together. Just
Yeah.
this movie ends with Gaia fucking all three of them up. Like I don't even know. They can do whatever
David
they
Chan
want.
makes a good point that Ned doesn't know who Peter Parker is anymore, which is fair.
Right.
But going into the movie, that's definitely true. It's whether or not like that remains the case. It would be probably more interesting if it does, right? But I don't imagine they will keep it that way till the end of the film.
Is MJ going to be just a passing cameo character then as well? And they'll use
I hope
I
so.
hope
Sadie
so.
Sink to, because she's got commitments to Dune, right? Right now, so
Well, what does she really have to offer to this movie at this point? Like
nothing. They wiped her memory, so nothing.
zero. It's just cameo.
Well, maybe because the memory's been wiped, like Peter Parker will realize he was never really that into her, and
Yeah.
so like Sadie Sink comes along and it's like, here's a better girlfriend material.
But
She can actually
this-
act, so it's an improvement.
Is this the second relationship that they've literally deleted? Like Peter Quill and Gamora, and now MJ and Peter.
Yeah, I mean,
this is
obviously
bizarre.
different mechanics, but it is, yeah.
The
We're heading
goal
into
seems
the
to be the
Gen Z
same.
writers realm where there is no sex. And
There's no sex.
love.
There's no like, because you're pointing out like your girlfriend liked the fact that they all had fucking
They all had love
interest, which is just a normal thing of being a human. It just happens. We have interactions and affection, but like everyone is just this fucking NPC now that just doesn't come. I don't understand. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Did
You're
Doctor
telling me
Strange,
Captain Marvel doesn't come?
does Doctor
The love
Strange's magic, does it erase all the nude pics Peter got of MJ? Because if she still got the pictures, he goes, "Why'd you have pictures of me, you freak?" and attacks him.
Fucking strange.
Yeah,
Is he
'cause, yeah,
even
they
gonna come
can't-
back? What happened to him? Does he still have 3 eyes? Is he still with Charlize Theron?
Wait, oh no, because now I'm
fuck's going
thinking
on?
no, Reaper's
Oh,
got
what
me on the fucking the dirty pictures angle, but you don't even have to go down that far because like, they were on the fucking school spelling bee together and everything. So, like surely there are photos of that event. There must be photographic evidence of them together all over the place. How is that gonna
The
The
work?
MCU is
There's no
broken.
way it's gonna work.
It
There's
doesn't
no
work.
way it's gonna fucking work at all. That seems like the blip where they just did it to do a thing. They didn't think of the repercussions.
Picture of feet.
Be fixed.
Yeah, like I don't see who would be the overarching villain. Unless they completely like redo Scorpion from the ground up.
It would have to be Doctor Doom because
Yeah,
then we
Dr.
have
Doom.
Avengers right after this movie.
Scorpion's the
isn't
red
it-
herring, and then they
wasn't
all
it-
face Doctor Doom in the end or something.
But wasn't this supposed to come out after Doomsday?
It
they
was.
Yeah, originally.
But they've been doing that for years now. Everything is out of order.
Yeah, I think this was going to be like they did Ant-Man 2 between the last two Avengers movies, but it took place before the two Avengers movies. So I figured this was going to be like that as well, where
Yeah.
it's the ending of Brand New Day will lead into Doomsday.
Well,
Even
they'll
if
probably
it-
do a last minute, like after. Remember Thunderbolts, where the Fantastic Four came into their universe, which they didn't have to because their universe is fine.
Yeah, still waiting on an explanation for that one. I do wonder if we'll ever get
Wait.
it.
Hold on. If the Fantastic Four were able to go into the Thunderbolts universe, why didn't they just zap Galactus into another universe?
Well,
that was
the thing is
Oh.
that they didn't though. So that's the confusing thing: is that the end of Thunderbolt, the Fantastic Four ship arrives in our universe,
uh-huh.
but it can't either. It's not the same Fantastic Four from the same universe in the Fantastic Four movie,
From
or
the
it
future.
happens after the Fantastic Four movie, and we just didn't get around to seeing it yet because there's no actual tie-in. So
Well-
per the Fantastic Four movie, they are not in our universe. Thunderbolts, which came out before it, a version of them are. I don't know.
Well, Kevin Feige did say after the release of Thunderbolts, when everybody was speculating that the Fantastic Four had entered the MCU mainline continuity, that it wasn't the Fantastic Four. Like, he explicitly said that. So it just makes things all the more confusing.
So did
Was
Doctor
it?
Doom steal their ship and just run off with it?
Maybe.
So he's got little baby Franklin, and he steals their ship.
Was it Skrulls then, or
Oh God, no, we're not doing that again. No.
Oh god.
I initially thought that because I figured Galactus would be after their kid Franklin, that in order to save him, they'd put him in a ship and send him off to another
that makes
universe.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought they were going to do, but they fucked it up.
Well, Franklin could have done it himself because isn't he that powerful? He can like create universes or like he's like America Chavez. He can travel between them.
Well, he can create pocket universes in his own bedroom, but at this stage, he's too young to understand what it is that he's doing, right?
What the is this all in the end credit scene?
What, of Thunderbolts? No, the end credit scene of Thunderbolts is just.
No,
Just
Franklin and
setting
his
up.
powers. I thought he was just a
Oh,
baby.
No. So
No,
the
just-
only Fantastic Four post-credit scene is just that they go into the room. Doctor Doom with his back to camera is there with the baby. That's it. It's still a baby though.
Okay.
Yeah, Jedi, in the comics, Franklin Richards is a reality warper. He's literally one of the
Oh.
most powerful beings in the universe. He's
Okay.
broken. I don't even think Jean Grey's Phoenix Force could defeat him.
Jesus.
I'm confused, Mr. Stark.
Yeah.
The lore
Big-
goes deep, man.
Big T said in the extended edition of No Way Home, the post-credits scene has a montage of pics Peter was in, but his face is covered by something: a balloon, bird, someone's hand, etc.
Hmm.
And you're not
Oh.
gonna go, who the fuck was this?
Yeah, who's this guy who's always in my pictures but covered up by a balloon or a bird or some shit? Like, what the fuck? That's only
like-
gonna last so many long. Why are there 17 pictures of this guy covered up?
How paranoid would you be if like he's picking you up in one picture and you can't see his face?
It just can't work. There's just too many fucking holes in there. They had a trilogy together. There's gonna be scenes. There's gonna be moments. There's just so many things that
Wait.
can contradict this.
Hold on. You're saying so Peter erases her Doctor Strange erases her memory at the end of No Way Home, right? With the whole like
The
putting
beginning.
things.
Or was it
Like-
the end? I can't remember
He
now.
erases everyone's at the end.
Everyone's, yeah.
So
What was the spell he
He-
did at the beginning? Sorry.
Well, that's what he meant to do, but he accidentally
Okay.
opened up reality because he's a fucking idiot. And
okay,
he
so
brought
Tool.
3
When-
Peters with him with a bunch
so
of
the-
other villains.
his spell to erase memories also retroactively changes all the photos you have in your photo albums
Or
and stuff.
it was just a really freaky coincidence, and they realized the problem after the fact, and that's why it's in the extended edition. Is that they added it in to try and explain away the impracticality of the memory spell.
It's a plaster
Um,
fix. There's
yeah.
Band-Aid. It's so terrible.
I quite like that film, but it's got a few problems.
It's got
That's one
some
of them.
issues, but that's okay.
like I said, for the same reason. I feel like the Peters and the nostalgia for them and the character work is what hard carries that movie.
Yeah.
Oh God, James Marsden has apparently a couple people have wrapped filming on Doomsday already. I believe Marsden's one of them. But he talked about returning as Cyclops, and he said that he was excited because you're part of something gigantic. And I spent 20 years listening to people say, "When are you coming back? When are you coming back?" I'm dead. Well, maybe I'm not. I'm going to have a tough time struggling to get into costume if they waited a couple more years. But he's, he's being a good soldier, speaking well of his return. But along with him, Pedro Pascal has already wrapped filming on Avengers Doomsday.
That's interesting because they haven't finished the script. Was the last thing I heard.
Right.
Yep.
That's why I'm wondering if the Fantastic Four really do just arrive at the end of the movie.
I would like to
Yeah.
remind everyone, Wanda, she had no idea who she was killing in the Illuminati scenes. They just filmed her scenes, filmed her lines. That's why when you watch Multiverse of Madness, she's like fucking drunk. She's not responding to what people are actually saying to her because she has no idea who the fuck she's talking to. So this could be another thing like that where they just film the scenes and then we'll figure it out later. It's fucking pathetic.
Also,
It's so
with
bad.
with how many people that they've now recruited for Doomsday, it's likely that like 90% of them are just like 1 minute at most cameos. What it seems like.
Yeah, it seems like the X-Men are going to die really fast.
Or
Yeah.
that,
That's
yeah.
my assumption. as they tend to do.
So John Marston comes back, it's been 20 years. He goes, dies instantly.
It's so great to be back for this event movie. People really love this character.
He just gets on his knees, he goes, please give me 5 more minutes. And he just zaps him.
So this is supposed to be a 2-part movie, though, right? So then who are the core Avengers in the next one?
And Secret Wars is the next one, right? So
Yeah.
I guess like
Was
the
second
assumption
and
is going to be whoever survives this one, and I would hope a really small number of people survive this one, will go through to sort of carry it in Secret Wars. But yeah, I guess like all the X-Men have to die or be partitioned off into their own universe, never to be seen again. Because obviously we're recasting those, so they aren't going to stick around. But Pedro Pascal will, so he's presumably going to survive unless it's another universe version. But I don't. Well, it will be retarded to do that, so they probably will. Yeah, I don't. And then, but there's no Avengers team going into it, so I don't know what the Avengers team is going to be going out of
That's
it.
what I'm gonna ask. Who the fuck are the Avengers now? I don't even know
The
who's on the
official
crew.
Avengers is Captain Falcon, Eagle Twink, and
Thor, maybe?
Thor if they bring him back, and Hulk. I guess they'll team up or something.
So with Chris Evans and Downey Jr. returning, I think it would be fucking hilarious and just throw in the towel, but I would accept it if Iron Man and Captain America came back for these 2 movies.
That they have to, right? Like I figured that
Yeah,
was
they
the
have
big
to.
appeal of
I
having
think so,
Downey
too.
in the first place. Like you get an Iron Man cameo out of
Right.
it.
He's absolutely going to play dual characters. He has to. You
'Cause he was
can't have
also-
Downey Jr. and not have him play Iron Man in a fucking MCU movie.
Right. And he
In
was
a
paid
multiverse
something.
MCU movie.
He was paid something egregious for this film
100
or for
million?
this role as well. Yeah. So it has to be dual roles,
100
right?
million.
I don't think they would pay him that much money for a different character. They would pay him that for Iron Man. So there has to be an Iron Man portion.
He's also writing like an origin story for Doctor Doom, as if that doesn't already exist in the comics. I just think it's wild that Marvel have gone from like interconnected stories that lead into like a massive payoff with Infinity War and Endgame to doing the equivalent of a knockout tournament with cameos. Like it's just wild.
So like the writers aren't finished with Doomsday, and Robbie Downey Jr. is off somewhere else writing the origin to Doctor Doom. You're not even gonna, what are you writing there? Oh, I just wrote this entire backstory for him, and they're like,
This
"What?
is my diary. This is my production diary.
Sure, it is, Rob.
Is
Over there,
the
Robert."
100 million, like, is it just for these 2 movies, or is it for an unspecified number of future projects?
I think it's these 2.
Just these 2.
Damn.
Crazy.
And he'll also receive like a percentage, like he always does with the Iron Man movies and the Avengers movies. He gets like a percentage cut of the box office profits.
He's going to make more money than any Marvel film has done in the last fucking decade.
Yeah, but the question is, will these movies even make money? Because there's like at least 100 cameos if they're bringing everybody from the Avengers to every character that we've seen in the MCU for this film, and they're paying RDJ 100 million. They're paying the Russo brothers 80 million. I feel as though just paying the cast will cost them 400 to 500 million, not including.
Maybe that's the trick they played, right? Maybe they got loads of these people back and they said, "We'll pay you really well. We'll pay you $5 million a minute." And they say, "Okay, sign me up." And then they have a minute in the film, and that's it. And so actually, you get away with paying them relatively little cash because you've paid them by the second, and they don't have many of those.
Member berries have proved to work twice at the box office for Marvel. It worked with No Way Home. That made over $1 billion. It worked with Deadpool and Wolverine. Also made well over $1 billion.
I think as well, though, that there's a degree of this is the one you'd almost accept a loss for, provided it makes if it makes a huge amount of money but costs more to spend, then you've basically spent money trying to reinvigorate the franchise and provide momentum for your later movies. So I can almost see it in that way, as that sort of calculation. They need this to be successful in terms of numbers of people seeing it and talking about it. They don't necessarily need it to be successful in money made after the fact, because the hope is that this will kickstart the next 10 years of profitable films. So we'll make up the cash we've spent on this one. Obviously, the best of both worlds is that you make this movie really financially successful too. But as has been mentioned, just paying the cast is going to make that impossible.
But even if these next two movies do well, it's not going to be an indication that people are going to return, because I sort of see these movies as standalone event films with cameos. It's kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine. That didn't reinvigorate the MCU at all.
Yeah, when you do the next phase or the reboot, you're going to have to keep your costs back to what they were when you did Thor and you did Iron Man.
Because that's sustainable. You have to build up to these crazy budgets. They've lost sight of what got them here. And that's why going back to just simple character stuff could be so much more easier. It could be way easier for them. Just these balloon budgets are just dooming their projects. And even like Platoon was saying, trying to spend all of the money on this to reinvigorate the fan base. How is that going to be sustainable for future films? You know, you're still going to have the same, like this is Endgame all over again, where they're going to have to, you know, draw it back directly after this and try this time to actually do it properly instead of just wasting money on Disney Plus shows.
I wonder what the budget really is, because if Doctor Strange 2 cost almost $500 million, this is going to cost some extraordinary number.
I think that just the cast alone, we're looking at 300 to 400 million. Production budget maybe 400 to 500 million. So that's like $1 billion there, almost $1 billion there. Then you've got marketing, which is like
is that 50 just for Doomsday, or is it for both films?
Probably, if Disney was smart, they'd pay them for both films up front. But we're looking at a cost, including marketing, of like 1.3 to 1.5 billion. So these movies need to make like 3 billion to break even. It's insanity.
This is crazy.
This is not the time for this type of risk. There's a few places saying it has a reported budget of $1 billion. The problem is that the places reporting that are like the Hindustan Times, and I'm not entirely sure I believe them. But I mean, I could see it though, given like the vast expense that has to be involved in getting all these people and all the VFX stuff. It's never going to make money. It's not going to make $2 billion.
Hold on. No. If Pedro Pascal is done filming his scenes, I'm just looking up. Vanessa Kirby is still shooting her scenes, last reported, while being pregnant. Doesn't that indicate that Reed Richards is not the leader of the Fantastic Four?
But they've said that he will be playing like a prominent role, if not the leader, but then will be like important in subsequent phases. I think they've said. I'm not sure though. I mean, he could die in this. There could be another version of him, because we'll have to do that eventually with the X-Men. Like loads of people will get recast in a way. I actually do think Pedro Pascal is a good actor, and I think he's quite well suited to this role. I wouldn't mind seeing him survive, but the fact that he's finished when other people haven't, and they haven't finished the script, unless they've written the end first, which they might have done, then the only other reading is that lots of the people who've already finished are the ones who are going to die first. But I'm not. That depends on the structure in which they've written the script.
Excluding Magneto and Fassbender and James McAvoy, what's the best recasted hero we've had?
Ooh.
Those were the best ones.
Yeah, that's why I removed them. I just had to remove them because I feel that's too much easier of an answer, because it gets more complicated once you remove those two. Adaptations is one thing, but recasting.
I mean,
Joker's been recast and Batman's been recast, and
sure,
the complaints.
Christian
Bale was a great. He was a recast, and
DC has done it very consistently, but within the MCU or just Marvel specifically.
How many recasts have there been in the MCU though? Because
not a lot. Yeah.
Harrison Ford was a downgrade, I think. He doesn't give a fuck, so why?
Mark Ruffalo is a downgrade as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Edward Norton wouldn't have been a pussy. Okay, yeah, that's no question.
But even out of the 3 Spider-Men, they're all good in different ways.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just Andrew Garfield movies are just the worst.
Yeah, Rhodey.
He's good as Spider-Man.
What did you think of Rhodey's recasting initially? I just always felt like Terrence Howard had better chemistry with
Not to be racist, I didn't notice at first. They all look the same. I didn't notice.
I like Don. How do you say his last name? Thank you.
Don Cheadle. Vex.
Don Cheadle.
That's how she pronounces.
I like Don Cheadle better than I do Terrence Howard personally.
Terrence Howard's crazy, so I like him.
I'm talking about specifically his chemistry with Tony. I just felt like he was a real underrated part of the first film, and they just never recaptured the dynamic they had in Iron Man 1 and any of the other scenes. Like the best Rhodey and Tony scenes are Iron Man 1 when he's had years with Cheadle to do something.
Well, when does Cheadle come in?
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2.
They literally have a line where it's like, I'm here, that's it, let's get over with. Just basically like a line to say everyone shut up. Let's just move on.
I was part of the crew complaining about Leto, trust me. What a fucking terrible role. Just terrible.
Is it Joker or?
Yeah, the Joker role is Leto.
What was that?
Man, to be the one
new
who
film?
fucked it up.
We live in a society,
We live in a
Batman.
Who's gonna give you a reach around?
Everyone who plays Joker ends up having like a crazy legacy, and you're the one guy who just screwed it up. That sucks.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
he did still have a crazy legacy. He has a cult and everything. So
Yeah, he does have a cult.
well, it's like, yeah, you had Heath Ledger, Oscar-winning performance.
Yeah.
Fucking Joaquin Phoenix, Oscar-winning performance, and you are the worst Joker.
You're not just the worst Joker. There's there's no fucking way you would ever sniff an Academy Award. And it, like, of course, the guy who takes himself the most serious is the one who
Jack
provides
Nicholson,
the worst performance.
another great
possible.
Joker.
Yes.
You're the
It's just sad.
You're the only person who's done this. Not only not good, but awful.
Yeah, and they all had their unique take on it that didn't, step on each other's shoes. Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker is so different from Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Fucking Leto, man.
I thought
God.
Leto was great casting. I just didn't like the version of Joker that we ended up getting in the film. So I kind of chalked it more up to writing because all of the characters seem pretty horrendous in that Suicide Squad movie.
And then he was in the Justice League,
Yeah, we saw him twice.
extended version,
That's where it killed it for me.
he was Zack Snyder-fied, and it got even worse.
I don't think he was given a fair shot. It was a good casting choice, but not given a fair shot, like from a writing standpoint.
That laugh has nothing to do with his writing.
Are we sure? Are we sure?
Yeah, sorry,
That
Vex,
was
but I think Jared Leto is an overrated actor. He cares more about the process of getting into character than he does delivering a decent performance.
Yeah, like when
he was sending
Tron
raps to his
Ares,
co-host, fucking freak.
when Tron Ares comes out, he won't be the best thing in that movie.
Jeez, Leto. It's from the damage tattoo to like him acting like a madman off camera. I like actors that will just dive into the role to that degree, but this was one of the worst examples of it. He tried a bit too hard and it ruined his career.
He was
I
a
mean, he
piece
didn't
of
have-
shit to work with behind the
Yeah.
scenes as well in the Suicide Squad. Like he
Yeah.
sent Margot Robbie used condoms.
rats.
He sent
Dead rats.
dead rats to cast members. It's just an awful human being.
Well,
It's
Ezra
fucked
Miller is more fun. Ezra Miller choked a pregnant woman.
It's so
More
fucking
fun.
awkward, the footage.
Those two I would have on set fighting each other all the time.
The fucking scene is so awkward too. The way he chokes her, it's so just uncalled for.
It's
What the fuck's wrong with that dude?
You know what's funny? The whole Flash tour was, where's Ezra Miller? Oh, he's somewhere else, and he's on
Yeah.
the run from the police.
Tracking him with GPS while we're trying to market his movie.
He broke into someone's house, and he's on the multi-million-dollar film.
But didn't he steal a couple of kids and take them to a ranch as
did,
well?
yeah.
That's just-
Something.
And, it was so
Broke into
funny.
someone's house just to steal booze.
He was playing the world's fastest man on the run, which was so funny. You're never gonna catch me.
Oh god. Is he ever gonna have a film again after The Flash? Because that movie and then all the controversy with the stuff you mentioned. That's a
Everyone loves
career
to come
ender, isn't
back.
it?
Give it another 5-10 years.
Yeah, they are actually actively trying to give him a comeback because I think last we heard it was a couple months after the Flash release. He was going to rehab and he was talking to his agents and everything again. So there's a comeback in the works.
So the anti Ezra Miller is this fucking guy because he's everywhere.
Woo!
He's all over the movie
The
screen.
Pedro verse. That's pretty much what it should be
Yeah.
called, man.
I've only seen 3 of these on this list, so I'm not Pedro fatigued.
Same.
I've seen
4.
4, and that's
Yeah.
4 too many. He was completely unnecessary in Gladiator 2. Could have just cut that storyline right out of it.
You needed a Pedro Pascal role, man. It's like
I
part
don't
of every
even
script
yeah,
now.
I don't even count the wild robot as one because he literally had like 5 lines in there as a tertiary character. He
Mm.
was nothing in that, so I wouldn't even count that in this image.
I
That
love how
was
the
a good movie.
Mandalorian isn't here because just nobody even like fucking acknowledges that performance.
Well,
at
The
all.
Mandalorian isn't in there
Not bad.
because, for context,
year.
this is a list of the movies he's been in since 2024, just the past
Thank
year.
you. Yeah.
Oh,
I stole
Jesus.
this from Niet's stream. Didn't even get all the context.
Is
I'm a
there
bad
anything comparable to this in the history of Hollywood? One actor just fucking popping off everywhere.
Well, usually what happens, you get popular, you go everywhere, but then your price goes up, so people stop hiring you as much. He must keep his price low
Yeah.
because it's been year after year and he's in everything.
Yeah, there's no way he's haggling these people for it's it can't just be about nickel and diamond people. He's really trying to establish a legacy here, it seems like.
Although it's a Latin stereotype. He comes in and undercuts the white people. He's charging less. All the white actors can't get roles now.
But that's the theory on him, right? Just the fact that he's white passing while still being ethnic is like they're gonna abuse that to as much as they possibly can.
Absolutely.
You check all the boxes while still getting someone who could function in the way that you need for a protagonist.
He's the
he's
quintessential
the chosen
diversity
one.
hire.
He's the chosen one for that. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's just they're gonna use him till he turns to dust, man. Like, yeah.
What's so funny is in Fantastic Four, he's got social anxiety, so he keeps rubbing what's her face?
Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby.
Mhm.
And then everyone goes, "Why didn't you have social anxiety
Yeah.
with Bella Ramsey in Last Dance?"
Exactly.
He did
Hold on,
not
I do
look
have an
there
answer for this. It's because he sexually groomed her instead. They talked about
Mm.
sexuality the whole time they worked together.
Yeah, but
Ugh.
like Bella Ramsey in a giant fod. Is that why her head's so bigger? Because she's just swelled with all this knowledge he's taught her. He goes, he's showing it a reach around and her head gets bigger.
It's just night and day the comparison because you don't have any scenes. Like, imagine all the things that we didn't catch on the camera with Kirby and Pascal if it was that much, right? But with Bella, you just know we weren't missing anything. He was staying like 5 feet away from her at all times. It's just not like the same. It's not even comparable. But those two needed to get a room. It's like, isn't she married? Like the entire dynamic there was just off-putting. But he gets a pass somehow, where so many other actors would have been dragged through the mud for this.
Yeah, if he was feeling my wife's tit on
Yeah.
set, I don't
Yeah.
think I would be as chill as Vanessa Kirby's husband was.
No, not a fuck. No, but the idea of performing in the story and doing it for the art—that's one thing. But you're literally offset. You're filling off my wife.
The
like, fuck outta
baby
here.
isn't his, maybe that's it. It's Pedro's.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
There
it
you
is.
go.
She did get pregnant after Fantastic Four nearly wrapped.
Mm.
Imagine it comes out already with a sombrero.
No, his mustache, Pedro's stupid little mustache.
His
is gonna come out. You're gonna fucking tell.
He learned from a father that would swap out embryos in chicks at a clinic, so maybe he
Yeah, that's
swapped out some
fucked up.
sperm.
Honestly, just for the drama it could create, I hope that's his baby. That'd be fucking awesome. I hope that's
That
a
would be
B-sub
funny.
slide in like 6 months. Some shit. Holy shit.
Fucking god. Well, we can do one more topic while we're here. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Well, Michael Bay is in talks to return for a new version of Transformers at Paramount.
These
But
movies
the
are still profitable, aren't they?
This man. It's
I don't
yeah,
think
ish.
they really are. I
Stop.
think the last one did not do very well.
Gotcha. Okay.
I did review
prob-
that, and that's where I was, introduced to a certain side of the internet called retards.
Oh, it was only that one, eh? Not the previous.
No, that was my introduction. It was my introduction, and then I met all kinds of corners, and there's variations of retards, and they come in all shapes and sizes.
Wasn't the main character the Hood from Ironheart in the newest one? He
the
was
actor?
Yeah,
Don't
He
know.
was, yeah.
yeah, and he was awful.
Well, he's awful in Ironheart too, so I just
Which was the last one that Michael Bay did? The last
He
Transformers.
did
that
like
was a part
5
of?
straight, didn't he? I don't know the names of them. They're all
He
the
did,
fucking
I think
same.
Last Night was the last one he did.
it's just a blur. I can't think of a franchise that's more of a blur. Than
Is the
Okay,
last night
so-
the one with Anthony Hopkins?
this. What?
Yeah, that's Last
I
Night.
can't believe they got
He
it.
was in a Transformer movie?
Yeah.
Sir Anthony Hopkins? Like,
Doesn't he
oh,
get
God.
blown up? Don't they shoot him and he does a big front flip?
The last
Yes.
one he did was Transformers: The Last Night in 2017.
Yeah, there was Bumblebee,
So
and
did
then there was
5 of
Rise
these
of Beasts.
bastards.
I remember watching the first one with Shia LaBeouf, and it was like fun and charming then, but I didn't expect it to become a whole like they're still doing this.
Oh, they got Stanley Tucci in the last one as well? Wow.
Yeah, they throw money around.
The problem is with the Transformers is there's only 2 characters in the Autobots. There's Bumblebee and there's Optimus Prime,
Mhm.
and there's no one else. So the
Someti-
it's always like in I think or Last Night Optimus goes evil. In Age of Extinction, Bumblebee goes evil. It's the same story.
How did Age of Extinction make over $1.1 billion?
The Chinese.
The Chinese love this shit.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
I-
All right.
You know, I'm surprised they've never done Beast Wars, just strictly Transformers.
They made
Well,
a
Rise
show,
of the
actually.
Beasts, came out a couple years ago. That was the one where I was introduced to the retards.
Oh,
And,
yeah. That was like,
Well, that's
yeah,
when
2-3 years
China-
ago.
China shut off the market, so Rise of the Beast did terrible. It only did 400 million on a 200 million budget.
Oh, wasn't that the one with the black robot or something? Or like
The gorilla.
Yeah. Okay.
It was awful.
all right. I didn't watch it, but I remember that in the trailer was absolutely hilarious.
It's one of the only movies I've actually just not finished. And normally, even terrible movies, I will finish them. But this one is like, I think I got an hour in at most.
Yeah. It's somehow the most memorable movies are the ones that you tap out of because you know you rarely do that. You're willing to sit through so much shit, but when a film actually breaks you, it's like almost unforgettable. It's crazy.
Well, it did. The fandom for this are the same ones for Kongverse.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same. It's a massive overlap of
Morons.
just like autists and retards and child offenders, basically.
What I want to know is, do those same people did they enjoy -1? Did they enjoy like Jaws? Did they
No,
actually
because
enjoy
it
quality versions of this.
No, because having something good reminds them that they're eating shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Well, the alternative is that they did, but not for the same reasons as people with taste, which is always slightly disconcerting. It's like
that's what
so
gets
like,
confusing.
Godzilla -1 can come out and it'll be universally praised, and then a bunch of the people who praised it will go on to praise Godzilla X Kong, and then you realize that we haven't been watching the same film.
Oh, it's such a horrible moment.
You've just been masturbating over the monster, haven't you? That's all you've been doing.
Yeah, that moment when you realize we're not appreciating the same thing, and you slowly try to, backtrack the steps of all the different conversations you've had, and you realize there's just vapid nonsense. They're talking about the fucking big fucking monster, and that's it.
Their arguments normally boil down to like, oh, of course you liked -1. That was the good one.
Wait, what?
You fucking tourist. Of course you'd make that comparison.
But of course you would destroy my arguments with evidence.
Just don't get it, man. I've never liked a Godzilla movie like ever, because the 98 one is one of those ones where you enjoy it as a kid, then you rewatch it and you're like, what the fuck is even going on here? And the 2014 one is like the most cucked I've ever been by a trailer. I fucking hate that trailer, you lying bitch. And so I had no expectations for -1 because the Godzilla Kong Island, like I had no interest in that either. But -1 blew me away. I could not believe how, the quality of that. And the fact that we've learned nothing from it, from approach with creatures to approach with budget, it's crazy to me, man. It should have been a learning lesson for all of Hollywood.
But they don't. They never learn.
No.
And then it's strange though, I'm saying you realize the audience are NPCs for like Transformers. I question if they're even alive. Like it's like weapons. They just go out into the wilderness and then they come back for the theater for these terrible movies.
I just like, I don't know. It should come down to the approach when you have a budget this big and like concepts like this to work with. Like we've Transformers with all the history, Godzilla with all its history, is like someone putting on the chat. Yes, I know it didn't start in the 90s, but that was my first introduction to the character. And you would just think they would take better care with movies that are automatically going to probably make a profit because of the built-in fan base, yet they still just slap them together, and it takes like a decade to get a -1, and we probably won't get another one like that in our lifetimes, I still have to see Shin Godzilla. You guys convinced me to give that another check, but that might be the
Shin
other one.
Godzilla is a lot of fun. I think part of what makes Godzilla -1 work so well is that Godzilla isn't a major character. He's got 4 very short scenes, but they're all pivotal in defining who the characters are. We actually rewatched -1 yesterday, but it's a very character-driven drama, right? And that's what makes it so memorable. And God damn it, they're able to
Godzilla, right? Like, that's sort of the premise. It's similar-ish setup, very different historical context, but in terms of like the way that the plot is structured and the way that the monster is used to illustrate things about the people you're most interested in, follows that quite closely. Which it doesn't take a huge amount of money to achieve this, because it's like the real center of your attention is actually the humans before it is the monster. The monster is there to move things along or to present a threat to overcome, but not
force of nature.
To actually carry the narrative. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
Like
that's the thing. Go ahead, Ripper.
I was saying, in -1, how long is Godzilla in that movie?
That's what Nia was saying. He only has like 3 or 4 scenes. He's
very short scenes.
They're extremely effective, and
he's mostly covered
on the
up.
character.
He's either underwater or it's nighttime, and you only see his feet.
Wait, what movie are we talking about here?
Well,
At the very beginning,
-1.
When he attacks the airbase, you can have a quick look at him. Then most of the movie, he's underwater.
And then there's the scene where he destroys Ginza in Tokyo, but that was only like
that's near the end of the movie.
Yeah, all up 4 or 5 minutes at most, right? Compared to the Monsterverse, where we get like 50 minutes, 60 minutes of the monsters wreaking havoc.
You should never be comfortable with the monster on screen. You should never get desensitized to the point where you're just used to him being there. It needs to be something significant. Like, it's something that should be learned from Jaws, where they accidentally made one of the most brilliant movies ever because of the mechanical issues with the shark. But learning when not to show the monster is very, very important. The Ritual has one of the best creatures I've ever seen in a horror film. And you build up to it in a really effective way instead of just wasting it. But everything after that shot isn't as effective because you now get the big reveal. It seems like they start with the big reveal.
That you could just have Godzilla suplex Kong off a pyramid.
Yes, exactly what I was getting.
There are so many things you can do.
Doesn't Kong use a baby Kong as a weapon?
Yeah, he does.
Hell yeah, the best of the film.
Yep, best scene of the movie.
Oh my god!
And the funny thing is, Superman actually does the same thing. It's great because they're kind of on a level in terms of being completely broken movies. But like, there's the bit where Superman he goes to the engineer and tries like for 5 seconds to appeal to the moral character she doesn't have because she isn't a character. And he's like, "It's not too late. You don't have to do this." And then he uses her as a club against fucking Ultraman. It's the same thing. It's fucking hilarious. I love it.
It's like the same scene. It's literally the very next. It's so fucking. They just forget. It's completely meaningless as soon as you see her get used by it's just, oh god, how do you fuck that up when it should be a fundamental aspect of his character, his thought process when it comes to violence, but in the very next scene is completely contradicted. Superman. I never actually got your thoughts on Superman. Yeah, what did you think of it?
I liked it, but it's not good.
Great answer.
That's a good one.
Great answer.
Okay. Well, we do have some super chats to get to. First up, as usual. And excuse me, I am sick as fuck, so I'm like struggling to get through these, but I'm gonna do it. TGV Monster 24 says, "Hi everyone. Probably won't make it to the stream because I'm going to see Weapons after work, but we'll try to make it after dark." Awesome.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy Weapons. We will see you when you pop in the chat. He also gifted 1 little Platoon membership.
I still think it's just to himself every week. I still think that
could be. Joke of all butts says, "Gollum, when? I have been edged for too long, Platoon."
I know. It's I want to hopefully say when. It really just depends on getting like 15 other things shifted before, because like I've got deadlines and fucking contracts. So hopefully the Jurassic World video is done and out on Wednesday, and then I'll be able to do Gollum on Wednesday night, hopefully. But who the fuck knows at this point? Or if not, maybe the weekend. I don't know.
Universal's.
How much time are you going to waste playing a game you don't want to play off a shitty fucking...
I've already what the combined total at the moment is. I don't actually know how long. Like, I want to say 15 or 16 hours. I think I've put. I did 3 streams.
Christ, dude.
It's fun. It's fun. It's just
Is it?
I have so much else I need to do first.
Yeah, keep yourself so busy playing a game you don't want to play.
David Smart Jr. says, okay, I didn't like the film Weapons. People were laughing more in this film than The Naked Gun. I wasn't scared. Nothing my daughter at 6 could see this. Well, it's more
not
of a
scary
thriller.
movie.
Yeah. It's more of a thriller.
With little horror elements.
I think the mystery is the biggest component, and you have, again, horror elements, but I wouldn't go so far as saying it's not a horror, especially with the villain that we get. But like I said from the beginning, this is a movie that's going to either work for you or it's not. I feel like a lot of people are going to love it or hate it. And it's going to be one of my movies I referenced, that a movie I love, even with the flaws. It'll be one of my go-to references going forward.
And I can't fault a movie for intentionally making me laugh and succeeding.
Yeah.
It's just, it was there. It's good. And just because they did it better than a comedy speaks more about The Naked Gun than it does about Weapons.
Getting effective laughs in a horror movie is an achievement. I'm against it. I don't like horror comedies. I love Shaun of the Dead, but that's the one exception. Blending the tones with comedy and horror is very, very difficult to achieve, and this movie pulled it off pretty well for the most part, other than the scenes that we mentioned. It's that one scene in particular where I was just, what the fuck were they thinking with that? But that might work for some people too. My audience was laughing, so
I think this kind of misled people on the marketing, and even when you compare it to Kreger's last film, that was a lot of horror in there, like genuine horror. So I think people were also expecting a little bit more than that. But yeah, I wouldn't classify this as horror. It's more thriller, which can be scary. So
it's like Silence of the Lambs, where it's like, well, it's supposed to be horror, but it's not. It's more of a thriller.
I don't entirely agree. Like, Silence of the Lambs is definitely a thriller with horror elements, but I think there's enough of the focus on trying to scare you and build up the creepy tension that I could still call this a horror. I think it's mainly a mystery.
I think that's front loaded though, because it's only during the dream sequences at the beginning. Then there's a large portion of the middle where there's no horror.
Nope. I don't think it's just the jump scares or the flash ups. I called the scenes of the mom coming out with the fucking scissors because we had no idea what the fuck was going on. That's horror. How can I look at that and not call that horror? Like going into the witchcraft aspect. Yeah.
It was only at the very end of the crack, because it's hair one is horror. You have the dream sequence with Josh Brolin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you probably have Wong.
Wong's entire scene. I can't not call this horror with Wong's portion. I can't.
Because I think the horror only, I don't know, Silence of the Lambs got a lot of horror.
But yeah, that's what I mean. It's a thriller with horror elements. I think this, but still not technically. I don't know. That one's a complicated one, but I would classify that as a thriller with horror elements. I think this is actually a horror with.
For Silence of the Lambs, you've got the head in the jar. You've got the whole when he guts the prisoner to escape. You've got he's got the woman in the well going, it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Like fucking creep.
Well, what's the exact definition? Because I know horror and terror. Like, terror implies a physical threat, where horror doesn't. Like, if someone shits on your bed, you'll be horrified, not terrified. So there's like there's a distinction there between those two. But what is the exact distinction between thriller and horror? Like, how do we define these two terms?
I've always thought that
kind of complicated.
Thriller is more of a tonal thing, and it's the lead up, right? It's like edging you towards a really creepy or momentous finale, whereas horror, the goal is always to just scare you, either through traditional means or through slightly abstract means.
Yeah, you kind of nailed it for me, because Silence of the Lambs, those scenes are creepy, but you're learning things about the story and the characters. It's not there specifically to scare you. There's things in this movie that are there specifically to scare you.
I think thriller is the unraveling of the mystery, but that's the same Weapons. We're trying to unravel what's happened to these kids.
Which is why it works better as a thriller than it does a horror.
I think it's more thriller than horror.
I think maybe the way to compromise would be like the thriller aspect of it is more well done, but I still I still count it as a horror. That'd probably be where I'd stand. Like, do you consider Seven a horror?
Yes, because it's pretty scary.
See, I don't. I think there's terrifying moments in that, but it's a thriller to me still, because the moments are there to specific character reasons and plot reasons. It's not there specifically just to scare you.
Bro, just knowing that there's a dude that fucked a prostitute with a knife, like that terrifies me to this day still.
I
For
still
you, maybe.
separate that as a thriller. It's a okay, wrong way to phrase it. But I still feel like I still feel like I qualify that as a thriller. Because think about all the moments of interactions, like the action scene with Brad Pitt where he could have gotten killed but then gets spared by
There's
the version of
definitely
this.
overlap. Like a thriller can still be a horror, but I find it's all in, is there a mystery element? Then it more leans into a thriller, but you can find a thriller terrifying.
Well,
Yeah, but there's a
7 is
mystery element to
John
the
Doe.
thing, and the thing is definitively a horror movie. I don't think having mystery automatically,
Well,
means you can't classify as a horror
is a
movie.
survival story. It's trying to stay alive, and the mystery is how do we learn what this monster is so that we can stay alive. Whereas in 7, they're not in threat. They're going after a killer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I give up.
It's tricky. It's an interesting conversation, but 7, Silence of the Lambs, even moves like weapons. It could be a discussion in itself, like really trying to like define a thriller.
I think a horror you can be a lot more subjective with. How about that?
But that's what I mean. If you're gonna say what's the scariest horror, I don't think there is one answer. I think all 6 of us would have a different answer for which horror film scared us the most, because it has to affect personal elements.
The goal is survival usually, because Chucky is trying to kill that kid. The kid wants to survive. Halloween, he's trying to kill that girl. She's trying to survive. That's usually the common element. Where a thriller is like a detective story,
a mystery to unfold, an
Bone
atmosphere that's painted for you.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad we actually did this discussion. So I kind of agree with that definition, where the thriller aspect of weapons was more effective to you, but I still qualify it as a horror movie. So kind of just to meet halfway on that.
It's a horror from the kid's perspective because he's been taken hostage.
Ooh,
but
from Josh
Brolin and the teacher, it's more a thriller.
That's a beautiful way to put it, depending on the perspectives. Yeah, you're right.
Because the last act is pure horror.
Yeah. Interesting.
Andrew Valdez says, loved the movie, just the third act. I feel like the characters acted really stupid for horror to happen, and it kind of ruined it for me.
It's the worst written part of the movie. There's just no way around that. One of my quickest fix would be switch the matchups. Justine should have been fighting James, the crackhead, because they're actually the same size. And Archer should have been fighting Paul, the fucking cop, because it doesn't make any sense for Paul not to break Justine's neck in an instant. Like, just no.
Justine also has a somewhat of a relationship with Paul, so thematically it makes more sense to be dealing with him. Do you know?
Thematically, yes. Physically, it ruined the scene for me because I just can't. Like, her neck should be snapped. They had her in a full chokehold. They cut away to another scene and come back, and she's still in the chokehold. Well, it was my biggest nitpick, I'd say.
You could have ended it the same way, where she shoots Paul to save Josh Brolin. It still thematically ties in. She has to be the one to kill him.
Yes, you nailed it right there. I think switch the fights, but the payoff itself should have been Justine to Paul.
Yeah, she should.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
don't
but just the fight itself would have. The fight threw off my immersion more than the tonal switch, because I know what I'm looking at when it comes to combat. And when you show someone her size getting choked by a dude that size, you can't cut away from that scene and then cut back to it. She should be dead within that 30 seconds unless she's doing something to mitigate it.
Well, Josh Brolin chokes her, and all that last scene where the woman's running around for about an hour.
Yes, he's
still choking her.
Yes, he should be out. They needed to show her struggling, kicking, putting her knees in between. Like, there's things you can do to at least mitigate the choke. They didn't do that. They just had her sit there in a choke for an awkward amount of time. So that was my biggest nitpick for sure.
She should have said, way harder, more.
Harder, daddy, harder. Fucking hell, man. Yeah.
Just realized Weapons has a number of characters from the MCU. We've got Thanos, we've got the Silver Surfer. Benedict Wong also plays Wong from Doctor Strange. Is there any more?
I don't think so, no.
Thanos, Silver Surfer, Wong.
Was Justin Long or Sarah Paxton, were they in the MCU at any point?
God, it's so weird watching Justin Long, and it's like he's an adult, but he still looks like a teenager.
Right. Right.
He just had a little bit more facial hair, and I went, I saw you in Dodgeball. You still look like an 18-year-old.
Whose story did you like the most out of the characters that we went through? So the Justine, Archer, James, Paul,
Alex, the kid.
I liked Alex's the best, yeah.
That was freaking horrifying.
It ties it all together so well.
Yeah.
But don't you? I feel like Alex is. It's the build up though. Like, you can't just jump right into that. They prepped us and teased us properly all the way through. Even having the payoff of Wong attacked Justine and then waiting like almost half an hour to explain what the fuck even happened there. Like, there's just very clever, just the story structure I'm in love with.
You
Really
don't
like
you don't
the way
have
they
to
did that.
it's not so much that you have to jump straight into Alex's. It's just like his had the most interesting arc of all of them. Like, it never felt like they were dragging it on too long or that it went to waste. And like every moment that we saw in Alex's segment, it was necessary for the plot. It was necessary for how the other characters were feeling. So it's a shame we didn't get Gladys's perspective, because that would have really elevated the whole movie.
That's my biggest thing of coming out of this movie wanting a prequel, which is weird because like
You
I
could have done
need
it in black
more of
and
this
white.
lady.
Well,
What?
like at the very end, you could have like a black and white sequence with just hair to show that's rarely in the past. You could have done
Someone in the chat just pointed out Alden Heinrich is Ezekiel Stane in Ironheart, so he's also part of the MCU.
Oh wow.
Nice catch.
Oh yeah,
How did
he
it
has
go from
electric
Han
powers.
Solo to Riri Williams simp? Like, it's so pathetic, man.
His story was my favorite because that character is a fucking mess.
Yeah, he's a joke. They could have did something with him too. Like, Stain's son there's something interesting there, but they just didn't do anything. Such a waste.
When he punched that crackhead, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would have done the same thing.
Oh my
Yeah,
fucking
for
god, that was
sure.
so satisfying. You fucking little. I
There's
thought they were
nothing
gonna do something with that.
Well, because he
Yeah.
asked him, "Do you have anything sharp in your pockets?" He's like, "No." He immediately cuts himself.
Sure.
Yeah,
And he does it
understandable
anyway.
reaction.
And then he realizes, oh fuck, I'm on camera.
Everything about it just was so natural because, like, the fact that you asked and he's lying to you, and now you potentially have some fucked up disease, and then you snap, you lose your temper, and then realizing that it's all filmed and your career is in jeopardy, all because of
And
this one
he's
fucking beer.
hungover.
Yeah,
He's hungover during the whole thing on top of
Well,
that. And he
no,
just
he was
cheated on his
drinking.
wife.
No, he's
Before.
drunk. He was drinking in the car. That's part of the reason he went for the chase. He was just drunk and he wanted to fuck with the
Like
kid.
I said, the character's a mess, and that's why he's the best. Jackson Voorhees squeezed in this for a $2 super chat. I liked Weapons, but was disappointed that was just a
Just a
witch.
witch.
Just a witch. I loved her. She's instantly one of my favorite witch characters ever. Give me more.
I think as you know, basically when you have witch on the side of the car, you're going, it's a witch.
Right.
And like even before, like Josh Brolin's character, you're like, it's definitely a witch.
It was the parasite on the board and the hair cutting. I thought the witch on the thing could have been a red herring. I wasn't completely convinced just from that.
Yeah, it was the second I saw the haircut and went, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, when the mom came every time that door opened, I was like eyes wide as possible, like what's gonna happen now? And then whoever came out, it was always creepy. And when the mom came out with the scissors and
That
then
actually
got
did
into the
creep me
car,
out.
when she got into the car, I was like, oh, just fucking, because I watch too many horror movies. I check the backseat of my car every fucking time I drive. I just, you know what? Fuck it. You know, it only takes 2 seconds. It avoids me dying in the most embarrassing way. If that's how I go out, fuck, I'll be pissed. But like, it's just such a freaky thing, man. Oh yeah, I definitely think this deserves to be called a horror movie. But I get your point.
N. Hagen says, Vex, the director is good at foreplay, but leaves you edged. Go on, Vex. Expand on this innuendo. My ears are open wide.
Give me more money and maybe I will.
Our friend Toivo Korhonen, you are creating a D&D style team of heroes, a fellowship if you want, from your fellow YouTube critics. What roles do they play? Who's the fighter? Who's the healer? Who's the mage? Who's the rogue, the tank, and so on?
Well, the tank is who you hate because they're going to get punched.
So all the damage.
Yeah, just put them in front to get them beaten up.
It also like has to be someone who doesn't mind being like
A
the target
masochist.
of all this. I'd probably like Az would make a good tank, I think, because he
Yes.
doesn't give a fuck, and will shoot straight back, which is quite funny to watch.
But would it be like Kung Fu Panda, where you hit him, he jiggles and he hits back with the energy?
The rogue.
You think Gary
Who's
would make a good mage?
sneaky fucker? I mean, yeah, Gary has. He looks
He's got
like
the beard.
a mage.
He's got the
right?
beard. Just slap him in
Yeah.
there.
Well, what's his power? Does he like throw cocaine at you or so? And go, "Ah."
Smothers you in cocaine and comics until you just die.
I don't know. I don't know about this one.
The healer's like traditionally the gay one. So that narrows it down.
So you're saying you? Is that what you're saying? You're signed up to be the
Yeah, but there's
shaman?
like 10% of me that would rather kill you. So I don't know if I quite. It is funny because I play like a load of my friends played Battlefield. I said Battlefield 2 or 3 at school, and everyone who played Medic did turn out to be gay. So it's it's just how it is.
Would you have
don't
like a
know.
Sailor Moon transformation where you just spin around?
I would love that. Someone animate that with Grok for Platoon, please.
That would be quite funny.
I'm surprised that isn't memed more often. Sailor Moon's got a lot of memeable stuff in it. That whole transformation thing.
Oh, there's a lot. If you look for it, you'll find it. Brooks, I promise you.
Oh shit. See, quick tangent on Sailor Moon. I just remember appreciating that they were able to have a show about these 4 girls without cucking out Tuxedo Mask. He was still able to be a man. If that was a modern show, he would be a complete pussy. The character wouldn't even be allowed to exist. They could not have a masculine character that the Sailor Scouts look up to, because
they couldn't cuck him anyways because he's the protector of Earth. So
they'd find a way.
I guess, yeah.
Did you watch Mulan? Like shit.
I didn't watch that Mulan remake at all because I was I have just a normie friend that like really loves Mulan, and she doesn't even pick up on all this stuff. And she's just like, yeah, that Mulan movie was terrible. I'm just like, oh, that's my sign. I don't need to bother.
It's the type of movie that'll open up your eyes to all the fucking, gender politics bullshit and all the woke nonsense. For the people who just ignore that and want to watch films and don't really care about it, that's one of the ones where you just like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? Like the most calm normie of normies would still be pissed off from that movie if you're a fan of the original, because it's not just a bad adaptation, it's a legitimate disrespect to everything that made the first one work, and it's immediately disrespectful. Like you'll be mad within the intro type of shit.
Dang.
Fucking hate that movie.
Our friend Toivo again says, idea for BSUP 100. Everyone comes to the stream with a blurb of a movie plot of different genres, but all starring Sydney Sweeney. All right.
Has she been in that many things?
Or do we
I hadn't heard of her prior to Madam Web. I don't know about you guys.
I hadn't either. No,
I had,
but
yeah.
Isn't the question suggesting that we make up a movie plot, or do we have to find an actual movie plot?
Yeah, I'm confused by what is requested here.
Yeah, same.
It just sounds like eroticism.
Basically, come up with a movie plot and starring like Sydney Sweeney is kind of what I'm gathering here.
Yeah,
it's probably in the UK. There's no porn. This is the only thing you can jack off to.
That's fucking rough.
It's been 11 days.
James Busher, what are the best non-English language shows you've watched recently? Started My Name and Tokyo Swindlers on Netflix, and they're both excellent.
Fuck, what have I seen recently that's not English language? There must be something since Shogun.
I did watch that show Chicken Nugget on Netflix last year. It was like my favorite show of 2024. It's a Korean show. This guy runs like a furniture shop or whatever, and they get this mysterious package one day, and it turns out that it can transform people into other things, and the shop owner's daughter gets transformed into a chicken nugget.
What the fuck?
It was really funny. I do recommend it. I had so much fun watching it.
There was another one. My brother told me about it. Is this guy has a sweet tooth, but his mother won't let him have any sweets, and it's strange. One half, it's like a jokey show where he eats pudding behind her back, but in the other half, he looks like a psychopath. Like he gets his mum drunk and then eats a chocolate ice cream in front of her face. He's like, going, "Yes, mother, I'm eating sugar, and you don't know." Like it's supposed to be a comedy, but I thought it was like a mentally ill show. I'll try and find it.
Razarak says, to be honest, this movie wasn't difficult to follow and delivered. Anyone remember Drag Me to Hell? It was a fun horror movie, in my opinion. We should all know horror flicks end okay or eh.
I hate that, like, it's too blanket of a statement, just all horror films add bad. It's just no. I think you should be picky with horror films and anime. Those are two things that I love, but most of them aren't good. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole bunch of them that are just fucking shit, and you have to find
it is
the
crazy.
ones
Like
quality.
95% of it's absolute fucking garbage, and I actually quite like the genre. There aren't many other genres quite like that. No, I mean, so
I-
some horror movies will end on interesting premises. Like The Thing is arguably a horror film. It's certainly got some of the most horrific visuals you'll see in movies, and it doesn't end either or okay. It ends in a kind of shit.
Freddy vs.
What
Jason's
actually-
like the perfect ending for that movie. Like it's a blanket statement that doesn't apply to too many horror movies. That's why when people talk about horror, they talk so definitively rather than acknowledging the fact that it's, you know, vastly different. And most of it's, like you said, 95% of it is shit. But the 5% is why we love this genre, what you can actually do with it.
Well, we've seen so many like types of horror, like the jump scares. You know, we're all familiar with the techniques. How would you actually try to horrify a modern audience?
That's a good question, because that's what I've noticed. What a horror is trying to do is now it's taking relatable things, right? And like Together is a good example how it plays off of the fear of, you know, modern relationships and whatnot, and it kind of works in my opinion. But you can't scare people easily anymore because
the fact that Paranormal Activity made any money whatsoever is a good example of what works for people. It needs to be fully immersive.
Yeah,
it's interesting concepts like this will be ignored and be like, oh, it's not scary. You can't scare me. It's like people have this mentality with horror of like they want to not be scared, rather than real horror fans are hoping they're hoping that they can't sleep tonight. They're hoping they're gonna get creeped the fuck out by something that's actually effective. Because we understand how enjoyable that could be. It's the jump scares to me is like someone sneaking up you in the shower and just going boo. Like you're gonna be scared for a second, but a moment later you're gonna want to punch him in the face. You're gonna be pissed right after. It's not satisfying.
Which is why found footage is so good.
Yeah, I love found footage. But when someone tells you a story that is believable and really sticks with you to the point where the next time you see them, the very first thing you want to bring up is, oh fuck that story, dude. It's you know, it's still on your mind. That is an effective way to enjoy horror, right? Go ahead.
Final Destination managed to do it where people were scared to get on planes in the first movie.
Yes.
In the second movie, nobody wanted to drive behind a log truck.
I still don't want to drive behind log trucks.
It's some of the most, in terms of effect on culture, Final Destination is one of the OGs. I don't like it as it's not scary to me, but it instilled a fear in like the entire fucking world of like just random shit happening. Every time I'm on the highway, I'm like, fucking get away from that truck.
I'm still paranoid about elevators getting my head cut off. I quickly hop in, hop out.
Yeah, I don't like elevators either. Yeah.
I think one of the most fascinating things about horror, despite most of them being quite trashy, is that with a lot of the genres of films, like there's a certain amount of suspension of disbelief that occurs where you're kind of detached from what's taking place. But with horror movies, even mediocre ones, if the atmosphere and tone is good enough, you can't help but be compelled to keep watching. There's just something gripping about seeing a horror story or even a really good thriller unfold, where I don't have to rely on suspension of disbelief and I'm just there for the duration of the film.
Like The Descent's one of my all-time favorite horror films, and I remember like having a fucking heart attack before the creatures even show up, because for me the claustrophobia aspect just got me so much. Like getting lost, getting stuck, and being thrown into bad situations due to peer pressure. Those are three things I hate. So like that movie is super effective on me, where it might be worthless to somebody else, you know? So it comes down to the person in terms of what works with them. It's really difficult to scare an audience and have all of them agree that it was scary for them. Like just look at the Thing. Look at the fucking audience reaction to The Thing and how long it took for people to appreciate it, you know?
One thing I'll never understand is why is it when people have a family, kids, a good job, they go, hey, let's go cave spelunking. That is not a fun thing. It's a horrible thing, and you're gonna die.
It's a crazy risk.
Big T says, just started them. What's the best RE game? I say 4.
5.
Everyone seems to say
5. Where he punches the boulder.
Yeah, that's badass. That's Chris Redfield, baby. Boulder puncher.
It kind of depends on what you're after. If you want a pure horror, I kind of think that 2 is the best horror game in the Resident Evil franchise. The freaking was it Mr. X or Dr. X is
Mr. X. The
tyrant. The tyrant is so terrifying. Like you're never comfortable because he's always following you. But if you want something more action oriented, then Resident Evil 4 is pretty kick-ass.
The remake's great.
I would say 7 is pretty scary too. I actually got quite a few jump scares out of that, though it doesn't adhere to the like the original Resident Evil formula as
It's
much.
its own story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
This is so weird. I got all the games and I'm playing the first one from the beginning for the first time, so I might go through the whole series.
Oh,
very
it's
interesting
worth
about
it.
those.
Timing.
Yeah.
Do
I've
it.
never. It's one of those holes where like I need to be more knowledgeable about Resident Evil. It seems to like the fan base has a lot of respect for it. And I just never got into it, like Platoon said, because of the stupid fucking movies. I'm like, I'm not going to play those. Like, I'm not going back to the games after what I fucking saw. It's just, yeah, I just had no interest really. But the hype for 4 and just the overall respect for the franchise keeps me interested.
Big T also said 2017 Superman fights ice. 2025 Superman works at ice.
Yeah, he always changes. You can't use him. He's done everything.
Tay says, "Hey panel, anyone here going to see Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy when it returns to theaters this fall? I'm super hyped. I do want to. I live 2 hours away from a fucking IMAX. I live in Sticks.
Good Lord.
I can't wait to move, but I would really like to go see them.
For Spider-Man 2, aren't they releasing 10 minutes of additional footage as well, like deleted scenes?
Oh,
I don't know.
For a re-release like this long after, it'd be nice to get something extra, even if they don't have extra scenes, whether it's behind the scenes or just something to add, because you're only getting super fans that are showing up to this, or people who just never saw it in the first place. But yeah, just something to spice it up. That'd be pretty interesting. Because some extra footage and just maybe some behind the scenes stuff could get me in the theater.
Big T also says Feige says Punisher will be totally different in Brand New Day, not as violent as his other appearances. I hope that Punisher costume gets the Sonic treatment.
So he's trash. He's trash.
So yeah, he's
Sanitized Punisher.
Totally different from perfection. Like you fucking nailed it with the Punisher. If he's different from that, then he's shit. There's just no in between.
How can you still call him the Punisher if he's not going to punish anything?
He just gives you a telling off. He goes, now
Right.
Peter, don't do it.
The scolder. The scolder. The stern warner. Like
he'll wave his finger. You're like,
just waving it. He's got a finger to wave instead of a gun. We can't have guns anymore, people.
He pushes Peter and goes, sorry, Peter, that was too hard.
Ryan Bailey says, ugh, I'd hoped we were rid of Zendaya after No Way Home. Perhaps a fool's wish, but one I desperately made.
She's like a boomerang. She just keeps coming
do
back.
Anything for me, and it seems like she's always in my face. At least Pedro can act, you know.
She's going to be in the Odyssey as well next year.
Oh, of course
she is. Amazing. Ruddy says, Sync looks 13 and Holland 30. It's going to look weird.
I think like all the Sadie Sink publicity photos are from her Stranger Things stuff that I don't actually know what she looks like in the year 2025 because it's been about 30 years since Stranger Things started.
She's actually 23 as well.
But Millie Bobby Brown looks about 40.
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown. Sorry. Intrusive thoughts.
Fucking sandwich.
I did a video about Damsel and I called her that pretty much the entire video. Odom says, great seeing Vex added as a co-host. I know Brooks can't get enough of her sandwich.
Fucking sloppy mess.
Eat a watch. Tron Ares is going to be so shit. Tron Legacy, the original Tron, and even the legendary Tron TV shows cannot have any other additions. Disney really is going to ruin every little niche franchise it possesses. End of line.
It'll look pretty.
Yeah. But then I always remember with Tron Legacy, it's like it looks pretty, but the main thing I like about it is the soundtrack. But like Daft Punk don't exist anymore, so I don't really care that much about Nine Inch Nails. And then if your main takeaway is that, I don't remember much about the story, but the soundtrack sure was good. Probably isn't a great movie.
Yeah, we're just gonna go. Oh, that was good looking.
Yeah.
CGI. Why is CGI good in this and not in other movies?
But they've always used Tron stuff as like a tech demo for technologies which aren't ready yet anyway. Because Tron Legacy does the de-aging thing with Jeff Bridges, and it's one of the first movies to do it. It looks appalling, but it's a good indicator of where the technology is going. So I kind of wonder what Ares will do, if it will keep up that tradition. I hope it does, because at least that's something to say for it.
It gets an out of paying a ticket.
Yeah,
you'll have one thing.
Campbell Patterson asks, hey guys, am I able to get a shout out from the panel for my 22nd birthday on Friday. Thanks, you guys are awesome.
Aw.
Happy
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Ready, dude?
One day closer to death.
Mm-hmm.
Reaper.
And that is why we added Reaper as a co-host.
The realist to balance us all.
Yeah. But no, happy birthday, Campbell Patterson. Thank you very much. And Hagen says, Reaper, of course, Pedro undercuts everyone else. His dad taught him, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Put them in every basket.
Oh god, that's such a fucked up story.
Oh,
Oh, what a horrible metaphor.
Yeah.
Damn. Big T says, when filming The Last Night, they got in trouble for draping Winston Churchill's palace with Nazi flags.
oh.
I have not seen that film.
A little lore there.
Now I kind of want to watch it.
Oh yeah, they're like Nazis, and there's Transformers in World War II,
Huh.
and yeah, they're like
Forgot
one of
about
them's
that.
just a tank that just stands up, and all the British soldiers are just fine with it. Oh, there's alien technology.
Intent matters. I would pay good money to see Reaper interact with Ruin Johnson on Mr. Brown Alliance's stream. Vex, can you make that happen? Next Predator stream, maybe?
I will, if Reaper is on board, I will let Mr. Brown know.
All right, I have
Got
no
it.
idea who these are, but okay.
You guys have access to Ryan Johnson. You can just call
You
him
could
up.
just this could be a gangbang I'm walking into, but okay.
It's pretty close, but you'll like it. Don't worry. You'll like it.
A
They
pleasurable
always say
one.
that, and you don't. It's rough and forceful, and I don't appreciate it.
Water Girl
Yeah.
says, oh yeah, congratulations on surviving July, everyone.
True.
I haven't yet because I'm still covering fucking July movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still have
still-
Jurassic World.
Universal is just, they're the biggest cunts in the world. I'm still trying to get this thing past copyright for like ages now. So
God,
Still?
I'm doing a
Thing.
video that covers all the movies, so I can't wait to see what the first upload looks like with all the claims.
Bizarrely, I've had no tracks. I've uploaded just like the full plot section of the Jurassic World video, and it's had no copyright problems at all.
what?
Hmm.
I don't know
For
what's
my
happened.
video,
But then
How?
I guarantee you, when I
What?
add in the other sections, it will all go to fuck. So
That's what happened with my Ironheart compilation I made. The two separate videos are fine, but I put them together and it created like it just triggered something, and I got like 20 claims.
yeah,
Yeah. Life as a content creator. Luis Palo, if you were in charge of greenlighting projects, movies and shows, what's one standard or requirement you would have?
finish the script first.
Yeah, have
Yes.
a finished
Hmm.
script.
and redraft it. Jesus. Like fuck. It's your Bible. Everything else is built from there.
Samuel says, love you, Vex. Have you read any Platoon Cynic / fiction on your Sunday live streams? If not, I'm sure I could find something juicy.
Honestly, if anyone has / fiction of YouTubers, email it to me and I will happily read it on a Sunday
Oh,
stream.
you don't want that. You're going to be full of thousands of images.
No, I'm ready for it. Yeah, send it my way, please and
What?
thank you.
I am terrified to ask what / what
It's
what
gay
is it?
fan fiction. It's gay romance fan fiction.
Yeah.
Rule 34.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just any romance fan fiction. Is it specifically gay romance fan fiction?
Yeah, / is specifically like same sex.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
Who do you think is the top or bottom?
Jesus.
I
Let's
mean,
not go there.
this is a question. That's
Listen,
a
I've already
fiction.
I played medic in Battlefield. Okay, that should tell you all you need to know.
Jeez. There's your answer.
Medic's the one with syringes, aren't they? Who inject them.
Oh god. Ginger Adventure says, cheers, fellas and lady. Love the BSUP dynamic. Great panel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we
you.
agree. Also says, fave film so far this year. Cue for the panel. Ignore reviews.
Weapons.
Yeah, probably Weapons. That I had so much fun watching that movie.
F1 was pretty good.
I've still not seen F1. It's doing really well, though, isn't it? It's sort of like held
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
I think F1 might be my movie of the year so far. I have a lot of issues with some of the characters and the plot, but
Yeah.
god damn, I love those racing scenes so much. Oh my goodness. So
You
yeah, I'm
can
gonna
be
have to go with
sure that
F1.
You can cut out a
Oh.
lot of it.
Definitely.
I'll have to rewatch Weapons and then I'll see.
I'll have to finish watching Weapons and then I'll see. But
It's O the C to the E, or I to the C to the E. Okay, I get it now. I've heard some stuff about allegory. Allegory. Why is the movie called Weapons? Is it in the plot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hanging on.
I
by a
still
thread,
can't.
people.
I still can't explain the rifle in the air with the time, but like
Yeah,
that was a strange scene. But
It was
I do
very
like
on
the-
the nose.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
like the 217. Like I hope that's a memorable reference for this movie. Just the run, the Naruto run, and the 2:17 a.m.
Oh, dude, this is the Naruto run of the 2020s now. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
official. Yeah.
When my theater, I saw like 7 people running out of the theater doing that run. I was
Oh
like,
my
this is why I
God.
watch movies. It's so much fun. Like, fuck it, my people here. Just I
My
love that
people.
because it's If you've ever watched a fight in a bar, like a UFC event, after the bar, the energy after a fight outside is like the fucking funnest thing in
Yeah.
the world. And this is similar to that, where you just have everyone. We're all here. We're all fans of this certain thing, and we're just having this moment together. It is fantastic. Definitely fucking was glad I saw it in theaters. This is not one of the ones to bootleg.
Were you Naruto running out of the theater? Is
No,
the question
no,
y'all have.
no. I would have been. I would have been a
No.
couple years back. I would have been. I'm too old for that shit now. But I love seeing it. I was so happy to see
Just doing all the
Naruto
hand
stuff.
signs and shit.
I'm doing fucking seals and shit on my way to my car.
Going fireball, shoots, and then the guy just goes, "Get out of here."
Oh shit. But no,
Ginger
refreshing.
Adventure says, okay, 2 female synthetics in Alien, Earth, and Predator. What the fuck? Why? What's the appeal? Exposition vehicle in lieu of an actual character?
in Predator, definitely.
Yeah.
Can't see
Yeah.
it being anything else. In Alien Earth, I don't know. But that's out tomorrow, isn't it?
Really?
Tomorrow.
Is
Yep.
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 Okay,
First 2
well.
episodes.
Wait, so
So
it's
we
Is
shall
it
find
another?
out.
Is
Pardon?
it another brunette British woman as the main character?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck off!
Mhm.
Actually, I think
Ripley
she's American.
clones?
I can't remember if she has an accent or not, but she's brunette. Yes.
Who do you think is the best Ripley clone? Shaw for Prometheus? She seems to be the only one people tolerated.
She felt a bit
Uh,
different.
At least she had a character of some kind. Like she can't have kids.
Yeah, but she
so,
was a
like, you know?
retard. So
She's an idiot, but like I'll take that a retarded character over retarded nothing. Like tell me 4 things about the chick from Covenant.
Or Ron.
Go ahead.
she was even more of a retard.
she was female, she had short hair, and she was retarded. Like that's all I could fucking muster.
I think the best Ripley clone was actually in the Predator movie AVP, Alexa
She does-
Woods.
She,
oh yeah.
you know what? She would be the pick, but I wouldn't count her. Actually, no, that is an alien movie. Yeah, you're right. You're right. She was
Yeah,
good.
I think I
I
can
don't
agree with
remember her
that.
overacting or anything.
I just can't wait to see how it completely fucks up absolutely everything in continuity. Like, how do you have an alien on Earth 2 years before Ripley discovers the alien in Alien?
Oh,
How
it-
do you have Romulus? How do you
it
have
gets-
Ash?
It gets even better because even the showrunner and creator can't decide which alien movie this takes place before.
Wait, what?
So
That's pretty
in
fucked up.
interview, he says that it takes place a couple years before Alien. Then in another interview, he said, "Oh, well, there's references to aliens in here, and there's also reference." And then another interview is, "Oh, but there will also be aliens to the newer the Covenant and Prometheus movies."
Okay, so it's
And-
fucked. He has no
yeah,
idea what he's talking about.
There's decades
or-
between all of these in the timeline.
I mean,
At
when he
least
says
Romulus knew where
references
it
too,
was.
though, does he just mean like memberberry shit, like the Black Goo in Covenant was like it's
Who
a
knows?
reference to Prometheus, but it's not the same. I don't know.
If it takes place though before Alien, and then Aliens takes place 70 years after that, how do you have references to aliens?
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, that's just.
Based on what they did in Romulus, they don't give a fuck about the continuity because there's so many things in that. Romulus makes
Oh, yeah.
Aliens basically like just nonsense. You have to basically pick one continuity. They can't coexist. And the fact that Ash was discontinued after Alien and then he's still here for Romulus, it's just none of it makes any fucking sense.
and he's received information from the ship that they haven't they haven't discovered yet. Like they don't. He's got Ripley knowledge of what happened in the prior movie, but they haven't discovered her. Yeah, is that one of the big ones? I think it's completely
Yeah,
fucked.
there's so many things wrong with just the beginning of Romulus. It's hard to even wrap your head around it and remember. But the big thing is the disrespect to aliens. I just remember coming out of Romulus thinking, okay, you've made me. I have to choose now. Am I going to take this or am I going to take aliens? And aliens is going to win every time.
Yeah, this should have just been non-canon, like AVP. Just have fun with it. We don't care then. There you go.
Yeah,
you don't have to fit it in.
How do you spin it into many, many sequels if you make it non-canon? It's just going to be fun to see how quickly the narrative collapses. Because like when Alien Romulus came out, there were adverts on my TV saying it's the best Alien movie since the original. It's like, fucking, it's better than Aliens. I don't believe you, but okay, let's see. And then fucking however many weeks later it's been, Alien Earth. Alien Earth is the best Alien film since... the one before the last one was. So I guess that wasn't the best Alien movie since the original. And then this one will be replaced by the next one. I guarantee it.
The best Alien entry since Covenant. There you go.
Oh, fuck.
Set your expectations low.
I can't believe they've screwed it up this bad, and all of them are just missed opportunities. It's not like The Predator where it's just dog shit, irredeemable garbage. Every time I watch Prometheus, I'm like, fucking hell, this could have been a good movie. Like, you could have just fixed all of it. It's like, if you were to tell me, list a few movies that I wish could just re-roll the dice on, Prometheus would be like top 5, top 10 for me. Just remake that fucking movie and don't butcher it. Delete Covenant, delete Romulus. Like,
Well, you'd think statistically, like monkeys on a typewriter, you will eventually get a good Alien movie, but we're not going to get one.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
I'm immediately thinking about Superman when you say that. The monkeys on the typewriter. God damn it, Reaper. That's a stupid movie.
When Ridley Scott dies, then we'll get a good Alien movie.
Jesus Christ.
It'll just be Alien 1 again, but stupider.
You say that jokingly, but I feel like we're never going to get any like Thrones proper ending until that fat bastard dies. I think he's holding it back. You say that jokingly, but it might be true.
I wasn't joking. I was serious.
You know? Okay, fuck it. There we go. Kill him. Kill him. Lynch the motherfucker. We need good films immediately. Get good aliens.
Who's the one who owns Back to the Future? Because that's going to be awful when we get a Back to the Future remake when he dies.
Robert Zemeckis.
Oh god, he's like a saint. I hope they like tie him to a throne and keep him alive with all these fucking. Because I do not want a Back to the Future when you go back to like fucking, I don't know, 1960s. Oh, it'd be horrendous.
What do you think is the worst Alien movie? Just real quick.
The fourth
Covenant
one
was really bad.
Covenant, I would
it's
say,
usually
is the worst
3,
one.
Covenant, Resurrection, or Romulus. Those are the 4 to pick from.
I hate Resurrection.
Yeah, I mean, Prometheus is fucking awful, but at least there's some stuff to get your teeth into with that one. I honestly think Romulus pissed me off more than all the others.
I hate Romulus the most.
Yeah.
The most by far. But I think in terms of Romulus. I couldn't rewatch it. Yeah, Romulus is at the bottom in all criteria for me.
Yeah, but then Covenant is also really, really bad.
Close second.
Yeah.
Covenant
does the worst
trash.
damage to the lore as well.
The disrespect it's ripping off the lines, like "get away from her, you bitch," and like "I prefer to be called a synthetic." Like just the stupid member berries and the fucking lack of creative ideas in Romulus pisses me off. Where at least Resurrection and Covenant, they tried to do something, they just failed. You know, I'd rather you try to do something and fail than do nothing.
I mean, Covenant, all it tried to do was show you gay Michael Fassbender playing the flute. I don't think it really tried.
Yeah, but what did
anything.
Romulus try to do? It literally tried to do nothing. Just look at all these beats you've seen before. Look at these lines you've seen before.
That's true, but at least we can give Romulus some credit in like the first act where it does. Okay.
No.
What are you talking about? What credit are you talking about, Vex?
All right,
I want to hear that. Where she's addicted to the fucking
I heard
sun,
that line a load of times when it came out. So the first bit's pretty good, but it falls off by the end. And so I thought, well, okay, I'm expecting not to hate the opening, and then the first 5 seconds. No, it's completely broken.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. How it's completely shatters itself in a million pieces before the plot even gets started. Really. So you're forced to choose between that and aliens. And I'm sorry, Romulus just can't win that battle. Fucking Rain in her plot armor. That stupid scene where she was floating that people were praising as being so amazing. She fucking floats forward, shoots the thing, floats down, the scene ends. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, it makes even less sense when like they made such a big deal, like, oh, but the blood seeps through the ship and that's gonna, unbalance things. And then
not in this scene, we just Forgot. They
And then
kinda
after
forgot
gravity
last
comes
year.
back, it doesn't even matter. The blood doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah. And that's a shame because the xenomorphs having acid for blood is literally one of the best designs ever. You cover your ass with so many different things because there's so many times you're like, why can't you just kill him? Why can't you do this and that? But the fact that they have that built-in defense mechanism just is such good writing. And to ignore that completely in a scene that is about the acid, it's crazy.
I just want to know if they made the prosthetic for that alien hybrid at the end of Romulus. I really want to know if they made the dick part. Is there some behind the scenes footage?
Do you think Ridley Scott is bigger, juicier?
Mm.
I'm sick
Okay.
of hybrids.
I'm gonna read this super chat,
And
and it's hanging out. It's been hanging out for a minute. I'm gonna read it now. Ginger Adventure says Spartacus House of Asher. Why was it in the vault with Ironheart?
Has anyone seen the trailer?
Don't
No.
care, so didn't
No.
bother.
Basically, in the show, Asher dies, but this is like an alternate timeline where he's in charge of the Spartacus home, and then for some reason, the main protagonist is a black woman. So there's a
Dang.
black woman gladiator beating up everyone, and everyone was like, "Why?"
I mean, that's kind of base because, like, I'm not going to go there. I don't want to get you demonetized, Platoon. Never mind. Go on.
Get my jaw says I'm late, so here's an off-topic question. What is your favorite fish and cut of said fish? I am fond of tuna and ribs. Barbecue them with habaneros and oil.
I don't like fish.
I don't like fish either. That all sounds so gross.
Salmon steaks, maybe something I can think of.
God, people piss in the sea.
It's where all our trash goes.
It's filthy.
At least I make sure mine does. But
I like trout personally, so
Platoon doesn't eat anything from the ocean.
I'm not a big seafood fan. No, tuna is okay, I guess.
It's all right.
Shrimp's pretty delicious, but a lot of seafood just tastes the same.
Do you like fish sticks?
Fish sticks?
Can't go wrong with fish sticks.
Can't go wrong.
You're a gay fish.
You got me. Set me up.
Son of a bitch. All right. Well, that wraps it up for the super chats. So that will also wrap it up for this episode of BSUP. I'd like to thank the panel, go around. And just so everyone knows, After Dark does return this week. So we are doing After Dark. I will put it in the. You know what? The last week when we called it and decided not to do it halfway through the show, I actually linked it in the description of the show. And this week I did not.
Oh, it also reminds me that I need to set up the. Yep, ignore me.
Oh, yeah.
I did this ages ago. I'm not doing it right now as I speak.
Oh,
Carry on.
Very
All right.
unprofessional.
Well, while Platoon and I are taking care of that, Mr. Brooks, what are you up to next as far as content goes?
Well, you got a little insight into that. I'm making a video on the shitty CGI in horror films, and just the evolution of CGI overall. How to mix it with practical effects, and times when it's done right, times when it's done wrong. Just like take a different format altogether. It's not exactly like a comparison video, but just going through all the different elements that make CGI work and practical effects just superior for the most part. But the blending of both of them is something that's ignored and not utilized enough. Like Jurassic Park, Ex Machina, some of the best examples. But then you get shit like the Ghost from Mama that just looks like nonsense. And yeah, I'm also going to be working on the Jurassic World video whenever the hell I can get that out of copyright. So 2 horror things coming out soon.
Have you actually set up the stream? to go
No,
live?
that's what I just realized. I'm sick. I'm sick, you guys.
I've
I
been
forgot. I'm doing it
searching
right
for it in the
now.
back end. They go, how do I redirect? Where is it? Why isn't it?
Where is
Oh,
it?
I see.
know. I got. Hang on.
All right, who else is going to stall?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Niat's turn.
Yeah. Thanks
Yeah, who
for
else is
being
on?
the show, man. I know you have to be up early for this too, so I really appreciate you every time.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, so we're covering the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth on Movie Nights with Niat this Friday night. And I should have a video on weapons released Saturday morning as well.
Awesome. And Reaper, are you actually releasing any content and finally getting over 100K or what?
Well, how many days is it? 60? I haven't released a video.
Jesus.
Yeah, at some point, yeah. Who knows what it'll be? Who knows when? I don't know. You'll be as surprised as I am. I am currently sucking on strepsils.
Platoon, by the way, it's actually available now.
Oh, okay.
It really exists.
Oh, it's still not
Vex,
showing
what are you
up for
doing
me.
next?
I don't know. I need to read The Lost World before I make my Jurassic World Park critique video. Though I saw Platoon's YouTube post the other day, and I'm just like, oh, it sounds like Platoon had the exact same idea I had for a Jurassic World video. So I don't know
Well,
if I should bother with this anymore.
No, do it, because I don't go massively into The Lost World, except insofar as like this is vaguely what Crichton did with it, and it doesn't resemble the film in any way.
Okay, so we're same realm but different ends of it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sticking mostly to Jurassic Park.
gotcha. Yeah, so that I don't know. I'm busy with other things, so I just haven't. And I started reading A Walk to Remember, which I don't understand why people like Nicholas Sparks books. Like, this is such a shitty romance novel. No romance has happened. I don't. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for having me.
Course. And Platoon, what are you doing?
Everything. Yeah. Hopefully, Jurassic World on Wednesday is the target date, and then Superman will follow either this weekend or the following weekend, possibly both of which I won't be here for. So I'll send it out into the ether and just let it do its thing.
And how big is that video?
I don't know, because I haven't done the outro yet, and I think it's at 3 hours.
Jesus.
And the outro is kind of, I say I haven't done it, I've written a whole bunch of it, but like the outro goes like fucking all the way through Incredibles. So like, I don't know, it could be a long one, I'm not sure. But yeah, that is the stuff that is coming. More stuff is on its way. Cynic, what is happening with you?
And with me, stuff is also on the way. I have a couple of videos banked. I'm just waiting for approval for. They're both Marvel. One's an Ironheart supercut, but the other one is I break down why Marvel is getting what it deserves right now because they did this to themselves. So they both should be out this week. And I don't know if we need to stall longer.
I have a second channel video. I forgot that I released that. That's a sort of similar thing in the sense that it's like it's the only, because I had basically done all of Ironheart episode 3 and I couldn't be fucked to actually finish it, even though there's like 10 minutes. I did a Reaper basically, so it's never going to see the light of it. I did. There was a section on it looking at like Marvel's modern inability to write heroic characters. So like there is a second channel video which is already out. If anybody hasn't seen it, they are welcome to go and do so. I'm assuming it hasn't been taken down. I haven't checked. So fingers crossed it's still there if you go and look for it.
And link is in the chat for BSUP After Dark. That is happening right after the stream. And another super chat has come in because, you know, you guys just always got to do this.
Why about seafood?
Dragon Balls DD. Seafood is hard to do well. Most people have never had a good example. Got to be fresh, and the chefs have to know what they're doing.
Yeah,
that's the same excuse for steak.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
You just haven't had good steak. No, it's all shit.
Hold on. To be fair, there is a point to be had here because, like, if you eat because, like, up in Canada, if you're not living on the coast, you can't exactly get like fresh salmon or fresh shrimp, right?
100%.
So you eat the frozen shit, and it's got all this salt and other preservatives, and you don't know how long it's been frozen, so the flavor's gone. Like, I don't eat sushi in Canada anymore because I had sushi in Florida with like freshly caught fish, and it's ruined me. So
yeah, there's a lot of people from the Caribbean. They come here and they don't drink milk because they're used to real milk, and it's all watered down and pasteurized here.
Yeah.
So it's true. You got to get the good shit, or you always have this bad perspective on it. Most people have shit overcooked steaks. Most people have crappy seafood that's not fresh, and you really notice the difference. You can't go back.
if there isn't at least a 40% chance of you contracting some disease from it because like it's so finely balanced, then it isn't authentic food. So you shouldn't have it. If you haven't actually gone scuba diving and caught the fish yourself from the bottom of the Marianas Trench, then it doesn't count. It's not real.
If you're not biting into a fish that's screaming out in pain, it doesn't.
Yeah, fresh.
Chat is telling us to hurry up and get to After Dark.
Oh yeah, we
which
should
is-
probably do that.
This is the same conversation we'd have on
It's
After
just gonna
Dark.
continue, yeah.
Great. Right into fish.
Well, all right. We will end the stream and see you on the next stream, people. Again, I sent the link in the chat. I think Platoon has it set up now. So
In
that-
theory, it will auto-direct.
all
It probably
right.
won't, but it should. We will see you over there. Goodbye.
Bye.
Fuck